We good?
Yep.
All right. Good evening, everybody, or good morning, TJ. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Hey, everybody. This is Gunpla Hong here. I've been on hiatus for a couple weeks now. Super happy to be back. So, just a quick thing before we get going on this. Tonight is a special show for me because TJ here, TR13, is someone I've been following for a couple years now, and I really enjoy his work. Definitely, we will go more and more in depth into that. Also, for everybody that's joining our international contest here, just a quick heads up that deadline is next week on the 16th. So make sure you guys get everything in by that time. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, and then we'll help you out with the entry and how to submit everything. Another big news for us. Before we get there, quick thing. If anybody's joining and has not subscribed yet, please smash that button, subscribe, follow us. We always have new stuff coming out, new people. It would be great news for everybody there. GTS is now working with G Squad. So the G Squad community by Studio G, by us being in there, we're able to help promote and evolve and level up the community and interactions with everybody enjoying our hobby. So definitely check them out at studiogundam.com. We're all there. We'll do our best to keep up with everybody. Any questions, again, let us know, and we'll do our best to help you out. So before we get going, Jess, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hey guys, it's Master Great Jess. I'm taking a seat back this time around, letting Kevin handle the show and kind of direct it. So you won't be hearing a lot of my voice, thank God, for like a bunch of like, you're always hearing me talk, but now it's Kevin's turn. And we're super excited to have TJ here with us. It's a guy who doesn't need any introduction whatsoever. But before that, my boy, Derek, his beautiful face, he's right over there. How are you, man?
Hey, it's good. I'm just in the background. Don't worry about me. I'm just here. No, I love hearing everyone's voice. I'm excited because I seen already the slides and holy shoot, they're amazing. So if not, what? Let's get this ball rolling because this is gonna be really
thanks,
cool.
Thanks for having me anyway. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So going up, Kevin. Hey.
All right. So TJ, like I was saying to everybody before, I've been following you for quite some time now, since your Dreadnought, actually. Mm-hmm. And that kit is definitely something that definitely caught my eye. So, and just watching your builds moving on from there and evolving was just phenomenal. I literally waited a lot, just to be like, oh, what does he have next? What does he have next, right? So it's always exciting to see what you put out. So again, huge thank you for joining us right now, because it's what 1:33 a.m. your time.
Yep.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so definitely thank you very much. Well, you take it from here. Just a little intro about yourself.
Well, I'm TJ. I'm known as TR13.Designs. I've done a few stuff. Some they're okay builds, I guess.
Very modest.
That's the way.
I've done a few stuff. Like literally, we have guys. You guys better buckle your seats down. We have like over 120 slides just on TR13, so it's not just a little bit. He does a lot, and it's.
I'm a slow builder, so yeah, I've done I think my max was like 3 in a year. I don't know how people pump out so many customs in like a year. I get burnt out if I pump out too many.
You need to talk to Justin. You need to talk to our boy Justin from Studio G. See how many stuff he pumps out in a year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But then I'm a parent as well, so yeah.
Oh.
True.
Children, so.
Oh, nice. Very
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, it's
for me, Gunpla is purely a recreational activity.
Okay.
All
right.
Stress relief. But yeah, it's good. It's good. So been doing it for quite some time now.
So how long have you been building for?
I've been building quite a while, since a child really, but it's only really back in 2011 since sort of like I focused on the craft and started learning different types of techniques and methods and modifications really. So yeah, it's been a learning curve in the past 10 years or so, 9 years.
Right,
Yeah, funny
right,
you say that. You said Dreadnought. Dreadnought was sort of like my test bed for everything, really. It was more of a experimentation,
Ooh.
to put it lightly.
That is an experimentation.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. Because I toyed with the idea, right? Like with the Gundam itself, it's heavy arms, and I thought, well, it's not really heavy when there's only one Gatling gun there. So I thought, well, heavy arms was my very first Gunpla, by the way, HG, way back when, and obviously it's something that holds
So
special place.
So
in
you
my
could
heart,
definitely.
so,
Right. I was gonna say, so you can definitely say Heavy Arms is your boy.
yeah, it's definitely up there in one of my favorite sort of designs. But I thought, well, it's not really that heavy when there's only one Gatling gun there. Even with a Kai, there's what, 2? So I thought, well, make it 4. And then obviously the main ingredient for heavy arms is mainly Gatling guns and missiles. So well, let's just put those missiles there.
Yeah.
Turns out, and that's what I did basically. But as I said, it's mainly an experimentation in terms of like frame modification, mix building, camouflaging, a bit of weathering. Yeah, it was a bit of everything. But surprisingly, it took me quite a short time to complete the one. I think a month or 2.
Really?
I'll be able to do that now. Yeah. It wasn't that long because at the time it was. You know that phase that you're in where you just purely sponging everything. Like it's that pure excitement of learning how to do things, and that's why I missed that phase because you create some crazy stuff. you just do stuff without fear.
Do you know, I'm very happy to the fact that actually I met you now because I seen this this first time I seen this build. Like it was all over between Reddit and online, and then I was like, "Say what the heck?"
I didn't even know Reddit existed back then. I just posted it on Instagram, and obviously it was circulated everywhere else. But I don't even think it was that impressive. Like you reached Japan, I think it came number 1 in like one was G at one point, and I'm like surprised. I'm like shocked. It's only a mixed build. Like it's only heavy arms. It's not that complicated to build. Anyone could recreate that. But I think what stood out is because it was like one of the first like crazy heavy arms, I guess, out there.
Yeah, right. It is.
And yeah, I just can't believe no one thought of it. It's like heavy arms make the arms heavy.
you made everything heavy on that thing.
yeah. Everything was yeah.
I'm wondering.
Speaking of you saying, oh sorry.
Yeah. No,
I was going to say, speaking of you saying that it's easily replicated from other people, I remember at one point there was a competition piece that somebody entered in was a heavy arms, and it was almost identical to yours.
Well, someone claimed it was theirs somewhere in Indonesia, I think.
Right.
That it was their work. So.
And then there was a huge backlash on that. I remember reading that. I was just like, yeah, no, I know who did that. No, you didn't do it. You definitely did.
I mean, I didn't. I don't have any. I don't have any qualms really if someone copies my stuff. Mm-hmm. But it came to a point where they were stealing my stuff and then making it before I've even completed it. So that's why now my platforms I don't usually post any whip pics.
Yes, I remember.
I don't tend to update my IG.
Right, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
But I only ever post like. When I've done a concept or paint, when it's painted or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, what I do isn't really that complex. I mean, just a bit of mixed building, scratch building. But saying that though, it takes some time to master it. You just have to like keep building. But I think the most important thing about getting to that level is just self-experimentation. That's all it is.
Oh man!
And just building what comes to mind, I guess.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I'm gonna leave a bit of the questions to Derek because I can see in his face right now that he's ready to explode. Derek in our group, he's all about guns.
Right.
I can just see it. There's something he wants to say. So I'll let him say what he wants to
So
say.
like I'm looking at this thing because I've seen this for so long ago. It's like, where do you get all this? Like,
Right. So the weapons primarily are from MSG. I think it was at the time where Kotobukiya, they had some emergence in just producing these awesomely designed weapons.
mm-hmm,
So the Gatling guns are obviously from Kotobukiya.
mm-hmm.
But I had to like mod them so they combine on both arms, and they're really heavy. Like
Yeah.
if you put it on a normal kit, it will droop. And those change, those Gatling chains, they're actually like they're like metal.
Oh, really?
I just found this necklace that I think my wife had, and she had it from somewhere. And they look like, to me, they look like ammo belts, and I'm like, look, we're gonna use that. And I just cut it, painted it black, and that was it.
Just
Yeah, it was something. It's not like a special part or anything that I bought anywhere. It was just a necklace that I found somewhere in the house.
Holy shoot!
Yeah, and those missiles at the back,
Mhm.
they're like 2 missiles combined. So essentially, I think there's 8 missiles there combined together. And mounting that at the back itself was quite challenging because obviously there's not enough.
Oh.
There's not enough mounts on
No.
the actual like stock backpack for heavy arms.
Is there any posability on this thing after all this, or
Yeah, you can still stand up to now. I think you got it downstairs. It's still standing up.
what?
It's quite. I made it quite sturdy for some reason. Yeah, because the frame itself, it wasn't
protecting the
airbrushed.
house.
Yeah, it wasn't airbrushed. So I think I sprayed it with a spray can. So with it being sprayed with a can, it gave that thickness for things to hold.
Oh my gosh!
So that's why it's able to hold stuff still. Yeah, you can still bend the knees. Everything's still movable.
Oh man!
In that picture there's actually missing 2 bazookas there. He should be holding bazookas.
Yeah, I see the bazookas too. Between bazookas, he has some cannons on
Yeah.
his knees, let alone all the original
yeah.
missile pods. And I like, holy
Yeah.
shoot! And you can still
And
make a
that
movie.
tank bit is from Lotto from Unicorn.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So obviously with the Igo, before P Bandai Igo came out, obviously recent, there wasn't really any compatible tank treads for this kit. So I thought, well, I saw the Lotto and it was like perfect size. So I just dismantled it and put it on the back of the ankle side.
Nice.
But yeah, painting this was a bit of a pain
Well,
because of how
it's
how
like,
it's laid
what is
out.
it? Digital camo? You did like a whole.
digital camo. Yeah, it's like 3 layers of paint there.
Oh.
You can't tell because I've weathered everything, like put some sort of rust effect on it. It's meant to be sort of like a grounded design, but yeah, it's not. It wasn't at the time when I thought about it. Well, when I think about it now, it's not really that complicated. But at the time when I was doing it, because I was still learning to do stuff, it was quite challenging.
That-
The relief after it turned out all right. I'm like, okay, that was actually better than I expected. For me, anyway, in my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously a lot of people agree, but yeah, it was crazy when it went a bit viral. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, this is like a dream for me. One day I'm gonna get a heavy build. It's just I have so much backlog. I haven't bothered putting together.
yeah. And I did like the Mark II of that the heavy arms,
Oh yeah.
which is a bit more refined.
Ooh.
Which I think is a bit later.
Yeah.
On the slide.
We'll
Yeah,
go
it is a
through
little
that
bit,
one.
yeah.
So.
Wow. It's funny. It's funny to me how you say that that's a experimental piece, and you did digital camo, you did adding more parts to it, you did so many things that a lot of people will be scared. And actually, my one question I was going to ask you is, did you have any experience with model building, but like to that level, to painting,
No.
to
None.
no, not at all. This was your first one.
Yeah, I would say I've done some. This is like my first ever like production build where I've actually completed it from the ground up and presented it publicly. I've done like experiment builds, like just to see how it turns out, but obviously they all failed. But I guess that's how you get better. If you don't fail at something, you're never going to get good at anything. So
Exactly.
I've done some mix building, and I think for mods and customization, the main advice I can give is have no fear at doing things. Like if you have to sacrifice a PG kit for an MG kit, do it. If you have the resources anyway,
Holy.
because that's how you that's how you learn. I mean, I've sacrificed so many kits, but before I did this, I've done quite a few builds that are just
Wow.
they were just failed builds. But that's how I ended up with so many spare parts because I've sacrificed so many kits. So if I start a project now, I just look at it and I just look at a box and like, oh, this could go here, this could, because I've got so many spare parts. I can just pick out a weapon from a Exia or a shield from a Riser or some beeping from Unicorn, and I can just put it in. I can make something out of the stuff I've got. But that obviously there's an extreme. I'm saying it a bit extreme, like sacrifice a PG kit for an MG kit. In hindsight, don't do it straight away. Obviously, have the courage to learn it step by step and actually be confident enough to do things on your own without without anyone telling you what to do. But yeah. Heavy Arms was my sort of like very first modded kit that I've presented out there, I guess. But yeah, it's a lot of basic stuff that I've done with that one, and then from there gave me the confidence to do a bit more advanced stuff, and that's how that's where I am today, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
It's cool. So hey, Kevin, check out the next one.
So, a lot of people know this, especially in our group of friends. Astrays, the mobile suit Astrays are definitely my most favorite.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool design. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I first saw the Mark One, I'm looking at this. I'm like, that's I've never seen this kit before. This isn't like, where do I buy this? And then I look, I'm like, TR13 made this. I can't buy this. I can't buy this. Never mind. I'll just
again, that's another experiment build as well. Everything from that point is just another experiment. It's just purely for experimentation. The idea behind that was to make it more sort of, I would say, aerodynamic, but just adding some wing type shape on the armor. One of the main things that I think stood out for that particular build was the V fin, because obviously the Astray one only has 2 fins, and I kind of made it 4, and I really like how it turned out. Astrays with quad fins are actually, I find it fits it so perfectly because of the shape of the head itself. I think having 4 fins there are actually, it suits it anyway. But those shoulder things, fins on the shoulder, they're actually like the from Exia, that one, from the the one on the waist.
Oh,
the
okay.
skirts, yeah. And that's the one in the skirt itself. That's from another code. That's a frame out part. But yeah, it's not. There's nothing too complex in that one. All I did was sort of like rejig the colors a little bit and add a little bit of a color separation. But I didn't want to have like a generic Astray loadout, so I wanted to give it guns.
Right.
And that's where the frame mounts part come in. Another MSG part came in there.
One thing that really caught my eye when I first started following your work is backpacks and weapons. Yeah, Derek is huge into the whole guns and whatnot, but I like mobile suits with big backpacks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm quite a big fan of the packs as well, because I think packs sometimes it gives the kit definition of what it looks like, and obviously it gives you an idea of what the design can do. Like, so if you have like a wing type, obviously it's an aerial type. But what I was going for this one is purely for like mobility and speed, and with an added extra weaponry on it. But yeah, that's another experiment build, I guess. But yeah,
I
a
was
lot of
gonna.
people have copied that color scheme, which I found quite interesting because I find like the grey and the white actually. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the grey, white, red. I think it's just whatever kit it is, it'll turn out alright if you have that. You have that color scheme.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, those I think those MSG weapons they surprisingly they suit the kit, so that's why I've used it.
Right,
I
right.
see. We have somebody on the chat. Edmund says normally Astrays would be fitted with a flight pack, but TR13 is another level. Is that a booster thruster pack behind it this time around?
It kind of is, and it kind of not. those are actually energy tanks for the weapons. I think what I've not shown here are the wires for the weapon. So they're energy weapons. They don't have any sort of magazines on them. So they're actually energy weapons, just like any mecha types that you can actually. They're not boosters as such. The mounts itself, they're sort of like acts as boosters, I guess. But
Yeah.
you could stipulate that they are boosters, but then again, they're not at the same time. I mean, I've
They're
added
huge batteries.
I've added like fins at the back of the legs. That's another sort of to indicate
Right.
what that's another booster type in there. And then again, that's from the back part of the back skirts of the Exia. So I suppose you could say it can run very fast. This thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Catch it.
I really enjoy your visual and your story to the kits you build.
Yeah.
Like if nobody knew, they looked at that, they're gonna think that's a giant magazine for a gun, or that's a booster,
Yeah.
right? But no, you're like, no, that's not the real concept of it. I mean, my vision,
Yeah.
I saw this as an energy pack for my guns.
I like to put some sort of explanation in things of what I do. Because
Mhm.
if someone asks me what the function is, then I'd be able to answer them. If you just put a random part there, well, you don't know what they are.
And actually, I love the idea is it actually is canon because the fact is like the Astray units they're power eaters. They like don't run very long on its own, so
Yeah.
so it's canon actually. So it's really cool that actually stays together with it too.
But yeah, I love the thing there. They're really cool.
Oh.
I mean, obviously the katana's there, so any Gundams has got
Yeah.
always 100%.
So
To me anyway, design wise.
I was gonna say let's go. We should check out the next variant there. Hey Jess.
Yeah, the next Astray. So the Astrays is just they keep coming, and I'm not complaining. Remember. So basically, just quick story, like for the viewers and stuff out there.
Yeah.
We're currently in the process of designing our own little hoodies, like for our
Oh,
team.
right, okay. Yeah.
Because we're 7 of us, right?
Yeah.
And my wife is the one who's in charge of doing the hoodies.
Yeah.
And like designing them. And so she's like, hey, so what if we have a silhouette of our favorite suits? And then she overheard Kevin say one time, the Astray is my favorite, but my wife's favorite is the Astray also. So it's like, oh no, what do we do? And so when I told her, I'm like, you have to watch TR13's episode later because he has so many Astrays. You should see what he did to his perfect grade Astray, which is coming up later, but I'm just letting that out right there because she is in love with Astray. She has the PG, she has the MG, she has the SD, she has the real grade.
Yeah.
She wants to get the high grade Astray so she can have all her little tiny Astrays. She just loves them all.
Woman of culture.
Yes, she is. But with that said, what we have here is the Kamui. Am I saying that right? Kamui?
Yeah, the Kamui, yeah.
There's the Cobra variant.
Another
Gundams.
crazy experimentation that I didn't think it would work.
Oh, for real. I mean,
Yeah.
when I looked at this for the first time, I was telling Derek, I'm like, is this an actual kit? He's like, hell no, it's not an actual kit. This is a modded kit.
So with this one, I learned. I mean, I kind of improved from the red. So another mix. This is purely another mix build and a bit of added details on the armor. But this artwork here, some dude actually in Indonesia just sort of drawn it. He's really famous now. So this was like his first ever sort of start project kind of thing. And he just, a lot of people flagged it up like, oh, you didn't get permission from this, and he just did it on his own. I said, I don't mind. Just give me a copy of it, and this is how it turned out. And I love this. I love this artwork because he just pretty much turn my kit into this thing, and it's one of the best artworks I've seen. Not just obviously because it's from my kit, but it's just how it's done it. But yeah, this I've sacrificed quite a few kits on this design.
Yeah, I can tell.
Again, there's Gale Strike there, another Astray stuff.
So I noticed in the box art here, where it says TR13 Gunpla Works. I remember. Are you still part of Team Nexus Works then?
I am and I'm not. I actually founded that thing. That's easy.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was me and Primary.
Yeah.
We kind of founded that and just thought, well, it'd be a fun idea to see if other people can. I mean, there's a lot of teams now where we kind of like died down and not really posted the content to our stuff, but because obviously life happened and a lot of people are busy.
Yeah. Primary doesn't really post anymore. The last couple of things I've seen was traveling.
Yeah. He's busy getting rich.
Yeah, traveling with his Lambo.
Yeah. No, he's a good friend of mine. I think at the time, this was 7-8 years ago. At the time, we were in that phase where we were really enthusiastic. We still am now, but obviously we've kind of matured from it. At the time, when just sort of like a collaborative effort to push the hobby out there, and I think we decided to make a team, but not just a team locally, but because we're all from different parts of the world, we sort of wanted to create an international team. I think it was one of the first international teams out there that are modelers from different sides of the planet.
Yeah, right. Because from my understanding, if I remember correctly, there was you, Primary, Seth Tuna.
Yeah.
There was a female builder. I forgot her name.
Becky.
Yes.
Yeah. There was Yvonne Tan. She's from Malaysia as well. I think she's full-time model now. So there's a lot of stuff happened. That's why we couldn't just because what initially the idea was to do like group builds, and we did one group build for the Easy 8, and that like one of our first and last group builds that we've done with quite a lot of people participate on it. But yeah, it's that language barrier as well. Luckily, I have other friends that can speak Japanese, because we had like team from Japan, like really good modelers as well, like Kira. He's an amazing modeler from Japan. So yeah, it was good while it lasted. The team hasn't been disbanded, we're just not as active.
Right. You guys had a website going.
We did, yeah. That website is still. I'm not sure if that was live last time I checked, but yeah, at some point. I mean, we were talking about bringing it all back, but yeah, it's gonna take some time. It's like I said, with the pandemic now, and they're busy doing their own sort of endeavors. Really, Seth is doing his YouTube channel and building his own stuff. So, yeah, it's
Right, definitely.
Seth is like a paint master. He loves his painting and LEDs.
Oh, his LEDs are ridiculous.
His LED work is next level. And, I don't know anyone who's better at LEDs than him. Really good.
Do you know anyone, Jess?
What, on LEDs?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have. I mean, Taco Builder, James, is the LED god. He's awesome. He doesn't do crazy builds, like he doesn't do all kit bashing, but his LED work and his designing when it comes to where it goes and actually drilling the holes and actually keeping the postability on kits is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge where the wire goes.
Yeah.
Some people just have a knack for it.
But regarding your Astray, yeah. So I was gonna say, just regarding your Astray, my favorite piece of this kit is the how you were talking about the V-fins. I'm not a fan of V-fins as I used to be, because they just look alike, right? I really like it when there's that difference between the helmet and showing something that's really unique to a suit, but this
You mean the
this
horn?
helmet piece, yes, it's so sick, man. It looks like
It's a blade horn.
It looks like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, like looks like I'm playing Dynasty Warriors, and you know how like the general come out like the big headdresses, ornaments, and they're like that's how you know that guy's the big guy that you got to kill in the video game.
Yeah, definitely.
This is what this looks like. Definitely awesome, but
Yeah,
beautiful
that
work there.
Again, that Kotobukiya sword works really cool. Works great with that kit. And the design of that thing is so good. I think thinking about it now.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would never have thought of doing anything like that. The thing is, you're not scared of cutting up your kits. That's what a lot of people are scared of. Just taking
I think if you're scared of doing something, then you're just hindering your sort of, you're slowing your learning curve. I think that's just in my opinion. But if you cut things up, then you'll have a better understanding of the shape of the armor, and you'll be able you'll give you some idea on where to put it, depending on the actual shape of it. Yeah, just don't be afraid. If you want to get into mods and whatnot, just don't get scared of mixing stuff.
Yeah, just go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. In time, though, you'll find your own style. I mean, you just have to search for it, I guess, on your own. Because no one can teach you in terms of design. It's purely your self preference.
Yeah, it definitely works that way.
Okay.
But going on to is this the Easy 8 you were talking about that you did?
That's HG's Easy 8. It doesn't look like an Easy 8, but it is an Easy 8.
I could not even tell the moment I saw that. I said, "What is that?" The first time I saw that.
Easy 8. The knee part is scratch build. The legs, the feet units are extended. The side skirts are actually from Delta Plus.
Oh.
The binders on the shoulders, those are actually pistols from Dynamis.
Okay.
What else?
Ooh.
The Dynamis. So
The boosters on the legs, that's scratch build. Yeah, there's a few stuff that I tried on that project.
So wait a second.
Extension-wise.
So is this a high grade then?
High grade, yeah.
Holy
But
shoot!
It's I think when I finished with it, it looked like an MG because of how tall it was.
Oh man.
The legs are expanded, I think, with 5 mil.
Oh okay.
The torso, another 5. Yeah, a lot. I've tried a lot of stuff on this one.
Oh man.
Again, building from the experience I got from the previous builds, but this is another one where I just thought, well, Easy 8 really is just a slow machine. Let's make it fast.
And so there's a theme somewhere here.
Yeah. And let's make it
I am
heavy. Let's
speed.
make things heavy because they're too light. Make it fat and heavy.
It's
This one's
heavy.
like-
It needs to go fast.
Yeah. It's
Oh man.
another experimentation. Like the backpack of that. I think that's called now. It's from a seed kit. It's from the arms. I just turned it into a backpack. That backpack bit there where it says where I am, that's actually the knees from Dynamis as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's Dynamis knees.
I was
But that's a
going-
high grade Dynamis, right?
No.
The 1-100 one, yeah. Not the MG one. There was no MG back then. But yeah, that's the 1-100.
Oh, just the RE 1100.
No, it was just a 1-100. Yeah, it was just a HG one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So how did this color scheme come to be? Because this is something that you don't normally see, right? This is completely out of the blue, and no pun intended. It's blue, purple, white. Like what was going through your head when you're like, you know what, I'm gonna make it look like this kind of scheme.
It was actually inspired by Blue Destiny, believe it or not.
Oh.
But I kind of twisted the Blue Destiny scheme and sort of added some purple over there just to give it contrast. I think the Blue Destiny usually have red shoulders. I think one red shoulder.
Unit 2, yeah. That's the
Two,
one with
two. Yeah. But yeah, this is meant to be like an exam system
Oh.
suit, so that's why he has the visor. It's meant to be like when you activate the exam system, it's meant to tear everyone up. So that's the whole idea.
Wow.
But yeah, it's the blue thing. Again, that's a custom mix. I just mixed it and sprayed it on a spoon, and I thought, well, this looks good. Apply it everywhere.
Then you got the Team Nexus logo on
Yeah,
the
we
shoulder.
got the decals made by Cam. We had like call it the Alps printer. He made us loads of stuff to distribute.
Man.
Yeah, this is one of the this is our group build. A lot of people built the base kit was just easy. Primary built like a heavy one. He put cannon on his, and I thought, well, to counter that, I'll just make mine sort of heavy at first and go light. So it's just playing with the idea of the what clash you want to do. Every design that I do, I always think of what class they're going to be. They're going to be heavy, medium, or close quarters type. So that's where I start usually when I build something. I just classify it and from then I sort of build the design around.
I was going to say, on to the whole pattern of things, it looks super sweet. And especially like the katanas, I actually noticed like how much the details you did throw into that one is actually really, really neat on that part too, because I never thought about the EZ8 completely like a brawler. Never did onto that one, because, you know, that's such a difficult thing for me to imagine a ground type in UC Century. But do not, hey, kudos. It's super neat there.
The chest is actually inspired by Armor Core.
Armor Core. Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
The chest cannon is actually inspired from Armor Core.
So
that's where I got the classification system sort of mentality from Armor Core, because obviously when you build an AC in Armor Core, you have to make it heavy, light, or medium, and that's how that's sort of like how I approach things.
So I'm just going to flip to what's a slide 24 here really quick. Is like, so what's with this concept here? Like, just like a concept artwork, or
it's meant to be a Gundam that kills Gundam. It's an anti-Gundam Terminator unit. So what's unique about the Duel is that obviously you can go from light to heavy, but I just thought, well, let's make a Gundam that's just purely swords. And that's how I did the thing. So it's gonna have swords, and it's gonna have a backpack that propels it to some ungodly speed, and that's how it is. And that's how I came up with that. This is one of my earlier builds as well. So yeah, it's
okay, Derek.
I just love the idea of combining swords together and, you know, doing different stuff with it. Yeah.
Are you more of a? Would you say you're more of a long range weapon kind of guy, or are you more kind of guy?
It depends really. I like all
I mean,
kinds of weapons.
okay, come on, that's a cop out answer. Which one? You have to choose one. You get to drive a Gundam. You have a Gundam. You can only choose either close quarters or range. Which one do you choose?
I would say close.
Ow.
I would say close.
Ow.
I would say close.
Ow.
The reason I ask is because, for one, this concept is really cool. And but it's based around the Duel Gundam, which is Derek's favorite suit of all time, and he loves it because of all the guns. And then I just see him. Obviously, it's a really cool thing, but he's like, "No, you took away all the guns, and you just put a bunch of swords."
I put guns back in the Mark II version of it.
Yes,
I hope you do.
I did.
So-
They didn't have included. It should be another duel at some point later in the slides.
So real quick, you kind of going back and piggybacking on what you mentioned earlier, is that the identity of backpacks and what they mean. One of my favorite, I have the Duel Gundam right next to me, and my favorite part of the Duel Gundam, aside from all of it because it's awesome, is the backpack. That backpack design is one of the slickest, most futuristic mecha backpacks I've ever seen.
I love
the
it.
one with like all of the armor. And then you bring this guy out, and I'm looking. Can I just say I'm in love with your color scheme because it's so bold and so. You were just ready to take like you just risked it. You're like, you know what, gray and white silverish, with like kind of like a silver color. But then you know what, purple and blue again.
Yeah.
So what I'm really starting to see, aside from the fact that you're just crazy when it comes to kit bashing, because I don't know, man, you have something on your head it's funny, and all of our guests say, it's really easy. You can, it's really easy. This is super easy. Yeah, this isn't that cool. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. But one of the things I'm actually starting to fall in love with the way you work with things is your color scheme. So I'm going to ask again, how did this color scheme come to be? Well, what's the inspiration behind this?
Again, I based it on the stock. Obviously, the stock color is that's the blue color in it. So all I've done was have some sort of color separation on it, and I think I'm not sure which came first, whether Easy 8 or this came first. I'm not sure. I think this one might came first, but I just thought blue and purple look cool together, and I think I remember asking my wife, "Would this look?" I just held up to spoon. Which would this look good together? And she said yes. I said yeah, okay, go for it. And that's how it is.
Always listen to the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a second opinion. I just thought, well, and I think purple's like my wife's favorite color as well. So I just thought, well, let me just see what purple looks like, because I think inherently I've never really built anything purple. This might have came first, and I think this definitely came first, and then the Easy 8. But I think this is one of my first kits where I incorporated purple in it. But yeah, I think surprisingly, when you play with colors, I don't do too much like spoon test. I mean, I do the spoon test to see what the finish is going to be like for some paints, even though it says flat, or sometimes it turns satin even though it's flat. So I just thought, to doing the spoon test would give me like the idea of what the finish is. But when I paint the kit, I paint on the main part, and then just wait if it turns out okay, then I go with that. And if it doesn't, I sand it again and build another, and paint it on another part. But yeah, it just I don't know.
Wow.
When you were like really deep into the building and customizing, Mega Metal asked, how long does it take for you to do one?
Oh, I think.
I know earlier you mentioned 3. You do roughly 3 a year.
Yeah. Really into it. You put your time and effort into it. You'll blitz through it in weeks, depending on what type of kit that you're doing. Like if you're doing something like a Nightingale, which is like massive, obviously it'll take you a long time to do.
To some.
yeah, and then you do a PG. It depends on what kit you build really, but like HGs and MGs are pretty fast, I guess, if you put some time and effort to it.
So I got a question here, because looking at all these different seed kits and all, do you just like the whole generalization, like seed itself, like you're able to interchange so much, right? The backpack systems and the power units. Like I'm seeing that form here, and that's so cool to itself. And then
that's what's so versatile about the gap frames, because obviously they're made from the same frame.
Yes.
So every single part in there is interchangeable, and that's why it's when I did some sort of mixed building, I think it's a really good series to start, because you have 5 MGs already out there. With the same frame. You can go crazy with the design. Really, you can take the fin out of a Duel, put it. I mean, I think on the next Duel that I did, I put the Strike Freedom fin on that, and the Strike Freedom face. So it's a good series to start. I feel, and it's a really good sturdy frame to work with. Extending it is really easy. You just need to cut the peg and put some
man.
flat plates on it, and the chests are extended.
You make it
Initially-
sound a lot easier than it is.
Initially, the ice light up, and there's a battery pack actually of it, and there's a switch at the back. But obviously, because of how old it is, it doesn't work anymore. Again, another experimentation in LED, but yeah, the ice did light up on this one.
No. Oh shoot.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah, it did. And the GK just means Gundam Killer.
Gundam Killer.
Killer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Can I just want to say it looks so naked in slide 28. Doesn't it look naked? I mean, yes, it's missing the armor, but look at it. It just looks so scrawny. Like it's
Yeah.
put back my pants, you know. Anyway,
But he's
that's
the predator.
enough of the. Yeah. And that's enough of the duel because Derek and I love the duel, and but yeah. Anyway, the Delta project over here, and more purple.
Yeah, purple, light purple. There's actually I built this 3 in 1 month.
Yes, I was gonna say because you had 3 of them.
Yeah, I had 3 of them in 1
You
month.
had
Yeah.
you had 3 of them at one point, and I remember seeing that like he blew this thing together
Yeah.
so.
I
such a
just
short
bought
amount of
3
time.
Delta Plus and then put some resin and then stuck them together. That's how it turned out.
God. Wow.
Yeah. But I wanted the whole idea of this is sort of like they're like a squadron.
Yeah.
Obviously they've all got nitro systems, and one's an interdictor, one's an interceptor, and one is a
Yeah.
long range, which is the first thing that is a heavy
Man.
assault type.
Do you still have the other 2 then?
Yeah, somewhere.
Okay.
Somewhere in the house, yeah. But yeah.
Kevin is ready to take out the checkbook. I'm just saying. He's like, you need the other 2? But right now, just
Yeah, this free was again just to test how far I can mix things up.
In 1 month.
In 1 month, yeah. It was a challenge.
it's.
And again, I think this was in a phase where I just wanted to keep building, and like when you complete one, just build another one.
Right.
Why don't we build 3 at the same time? You know, what could go wrong? And that's
Yeah.
the sort of mentality, that's the sort of approach that I got from that one. But yeah, it's
The color scheme in this one is what I really fell in love with. I love the light purple with the white. Works out
again,
well.
if you look at the Delta Plus, it has a light purple in it, so you know it's light purple. But I didn't. I just turned some of the yellow into gold. So
That's why. That's why Kevin loves the HIV Gundam, because of the purple and white. Because it's basically what
yes.
this is.
Yes, definitely.
This is just the high new scheme. Can I ask a question? That rifle, that beam rifle, isn't that the Wing Zero's beam rifle?
no, that's actually from the Rezel, that one, Commander.
Oh, okay. Because it looks like when you combine, the 2 rifles
Yeah.
in
Who is this?
to the beat. Yeah.
It's a Rezel, that one. That shield's from a Rezel. Obviously, it's not supposed to be mounted on the shield from the Rezel, which I've done in that, just to make it look heavy.
Oh man.
Yeah, I see.
But yeah,
I just want to give a. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I want to give a quick shout out to Face Johnny. We have Edmund in the chat. We have Hydroponica. Hydroponica, you won the Display, one of our sponsors. You won the Display pin, the Vice, the cool Vice that they came out with. Congrats on that. Mega Metal again. Thanks for joining us. Real quick, German Romero Rosales says, is Studio G coming back? So Justin has been really busy with his YouTube, so he won't be appearing anymore on the live shows for a while. So sorry to disappoint there, but he won't be here. But he will. Well, there's something coming up with him. Just letting you guys know, keeping an eye out for that. But yeah, thank you guys for joining in and watching TJ talk about all the crazy stuff this guy does. I mean, this guy, there's you guys ever look at a musician? So like, for example, this is just a quick thing, and like, so to me, I've said it before in the It's a Gunpla episode. My favorite artist of all time is John Mayer, and yeah, it's John Mayer. But John Mayer is a prodigy when it comes. He picked up the guitar and he immediately knew how to play. And when I'm talking about prodigies, the way that you kind of say things like it's really easy, this and that. It's like basically I feel like your brain is already wired to see how things can fit and how it's gonna look, how you can design it, and it's really, you know, it's really is a marvelous kind of like skill that you have, because for a lot of people 1 month is really long, let alone, you know, even doing this kind of work where you can like do something this amazing. So do you ever feel like you maybe have an eye for these kind of things, that you immediately look at something, you're like, this is what it can become?
I don't know, but I don't know what to say really. But now that I've got quite a lot of experience in terms of modification, I can't. Every time I look at a kit, my brain starts to mod stuff. Like if you just give me a kit now, I'd look at, well, I need to extend that, I need to put boosters there, I need to put panel lining there, I need to put weapons here. So yeah, that's kind of like how my head works in terms of modding something. But yeah, it's I think I got it based on experience. I mean, it wasn't like that before. Before I had to like plan it out and write it on paper. But now when I look at stuff, like usually when a client messaged me, I usually just ask out of interest, what sort of kit do you have in mind? And they say a particular kit. They say PG. So I asked them, what do you want, this heavy or light? And they just, well, sometimes they say, can I have it both heavy and light? So then you play with the idea, well, why don't we put armor in that, and then make the armor detachable? But then with the armor, let's put some cannons into it. You know, like that kind of approach, and then you go back and forth, and it's when one thing that you do with the commission is that it's a collaborative project, so it's not like just, you know, I have to get some input, but you get messages like, let's put some GN drives on the Destiny. I'm like, nah, I don't think that's gonna work. And I'm like, I've had people message me some crazy outlandish concept
Requests,
where, you know, this, like, yeah, why don't we put some GN drives on the Destiny? And I'm like,
how about no?
You kind of have to like reply politely, but not offend anyone. But yeah, I mean, I respect their creative thinking. I'm not point blank refusing. Like I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. But I always say, well, it might look good on paper, but it's not always gonna look good when it comes to the actual model itself. So there's a fine line between going crazy and then going overboard and not make the kit design-wise practical. You know, you have to be practical on how you approach things, because ultimately I'm going to be building it, and if I'm building it, I don't want to be scratching my head to say, well, this looks like meh. So you just have to, it's I don't know. To answer your question, like I said, I'm not sure whether my brain's hardwired for it, but I said look at a kit and I start dismantling stuff in my head, and then you know, I start to see things where, you know, I need to change the particular part of the armor or a particular part of the weapon, or, you know, it's just I think I do that because I've built quite a few projects that are heavily modified. So yeah, it's I don't know how you explain it. It's just I don't look at a kit the same again, except for like kits that are heavily detailed, like a 3.0 RX-78. You know what I mean? I don't. If I look at that, I was like, I'm not going to modify that because that's already modified. You know what I mean? There's no. I mean, what can you modify from that apart from what? I mean, you can't really. RX-78 is one of those things where I can't really go too crazy on it because it's such an iconic design that if you start changing stuff, you probably get ripped into something. Why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? But I think the design of that is good anyway, and the 3.0 is so detailed, and painting that is a nightmare. I think people who paint 3.0 are crazy. Period. Wow. And like, there's so many grinding parts on that kit. The joints is just, I don't know how, engineering wise, it's just, I don't know how they did that. It's like they went so like overly complicated frame, I think. But yeah, it's you know, if it's like a plain kit like a Virtue, or, you know, kits that have like large surface areas, then I start to think, well, I need to mod stuff. It's just
Virtue, you say?
I know.
Dude, I cannot wait till the virtue comes up.
Oh shoot,
I
the new one.
I have a quick question, TJ.
Yeah.
Take a look at this guy here.
Yeah.
We're gonna, at this point right now, we're gonna try to get Jess to level up. This is his kit he left at my house.
Okay.
What can he
That's
do?
my wife's kit. That's my wife's kit.
What can he do to change this one up?
Right. So you need to add loads of panel lines and plating on that one. You can't change too much armament-wise, because it's RX-78. But
Yeah.
I think SD ones. I think SD Gundams are really good with their details. So that's my suggestion.
All right.
Think
Duly
of something,
noted.
Jess. Think of something.
I'll think of something. So, just one last thing before we go into this Golden Strike, the Falcon.
Oh, yeah.
One thing. So on slide 35, we actually have a full. This is one of the most beautiful, I think, parts of being a builder is seeing your kit completely primed.
Yeah.
Can
how
you
about that,
please, as one of Kevin's heroes and one of Kevin's inspirations, can you please turn him to actually priming his pieces properly?
Ooh, you don't prime?
I prime.
Yeah, right.
I just don't prime to his extent.
No. His priming, his version of priming is literally just pss, pss, that's it.
Okay. So
Literally-
I'll tell you the importance of priming. And I prime my kit. I prime my kit like so many times. But when you start modding stuff, like say, I don't know, you put plating on it. The importance of priming is that you'll see where you've gone wrong. That's purely it is. If you have a panel line there, if it's just an unpainted kit, you'll never see where you go wrong. But priming it gives you that chance to correct the errors. I mean, again, this build is quite dated, and I tried a few outlandish stuff on here. But yeah, priming really helped me, just try and balance things out in terms of those little square parts. I needed it to be the same size and panel lines on the and yeah, priming I think is very important. I mean, I prime my kit straight away as soon as if you notice this new Gundam, before I even start putting mods on it, I just prime it. It gives me that blank canvas to try and work where mods are and where panel lines are going to be. So yeah, priming is definitely an important part.
So Kevin, what's up, dude? What are you gonna say now?
I got nothing to say. Well, you guys know how I build. You guys know how I build. I literally take the kit out, grab all the blues, clip. There's my pile.
Yeah.
Then I do my quick prime, and then I paint. As I paint the pieces, I just use my imagination on where to do the color separation.
Yeah.
Right? And then
And you know what? That's fine. That's you. No one's slapping you in that one.
Derek
That's
hates
how
it.
It's not a quick prime. It's more you're rationing it out. You get a little ounce of primer. So do you.
Beggar can't be choosers, man. We're gonna use it sparingly. I can't
No,
afford
but all
that.
kidding aside, thank you for explaining that because a lot of people and new builders ask why priming, right? So
Yes.
I
priming
just
is
real
very
quick.
important. Very,
I'm
very
modding my Jester right now, and just what I primed, it lets me see the imperfections, and I've sanded
yeah.
a lot of the primed parts down
Yeah,
just to look for more imperfections, and I'll have to prime it again. What primer does
I
aside from
think,
just being.
I think for a project, I've primed like 6-7 times.
Sorry?
Oh wow.
6-7 times.
Yeah, depending on the layers of the mods that I'm doing, it'd be more.
Holy shoot.
Yep.
Obviously the error checking is one of the first aspect. The second aspect is if you don't prime your parts, then it's just gonna get scratched. If you get scratched, it's just gonna get scratched easily. So
So more priming.
it's a good
more priming,
foundation.
Kevin.
Aren't
Yeah, it's
you
a good
More priming.
foundation to me.
aren't you afraid of like the buildup of all that layers for itself? Or?
Because you sand anyway.
Oh, I guess yeah.
You sand it down.
Yeah, you resand it over again.
The
So
whole point of modification is you mod, you sand it down, you prime, you sand it down some more. So yeah, I understand your concerns about paint layers, but priming. If you obviously cake the whole kit with prime, then yeah, I would be worried. But usually for error correction, you don't even need to like make it thick. The final prime is important because obviously that's your final prime before you put in colors on it. But yeah, you're not too worried about making it too thick because you're gonna be sanding it anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I just give you a heads up. I'm like the new builder. Like I really build it out of the box a lot of times, and I do some painting here and there, but to the point where modifications is still very new to me. So that's the reason why I do. That's why I ask these questions, because the fact is, like from my side, I haven't yet to really learn this side, but this is gonna be really cool because I'm working on a couple.
And you know what? That's the best place to be. Like the learning curve is the best. That's how you get addicted from them.
I'm scared now.
Yes, you just wanna build stuff. And
One of us.
Yeah.
So
It's
another
different. You have to like lay out something before you actually approach.
Yeah.
Right.
Then it's,
So
anything
another
goes.
thing our community knows that I do not do. What do I do? What do I do not do?
You never sand.
No, I sand. What don't I do after it's done?
Oh, you don't top coat.
Oh, okay.
None of my kits. I've only top coated one kit, and that was a commission piece.
Alright.
That was a headache.
I suppose if you look for a particular finish, then yeah, you would need to top coat just to make it more uniform. But if you have a good eye in how you finish a kit, then it's your style. But I personally top coat my stuff purely because of the decals that I put in and protection from the elements.
Yeah. Oh, talk about.
I love how.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say I love how polite TJ is. He's like, personally, I do it because the fucking Neanderthal. Like,
Yeah.
I love it so much. I'm sorry. All right, Derek.
Oh
What were you gonna
no,
say, man?
it's
Sorry.
all good. No, I laugh at that. We gotta pick on Kevin here too.
Thanks, TJ. I'm never gonna hear the end of this now.
Yes, absolutely. No, I believe.
I will top coat the Exia, the PG Exia. I'll top coat it.
Oh, okay. How many cans? That's the next question.
How many cans?
It's a
I'm
perfect
gonna have to
grade.
beat Brian. I'm gonna have to beat Brian on that. So
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh well, going on to the golden Falcon, right? Strike that we have here.
Yeah.
One of the toughest colors I've ever seen people try to mimic is gold, which is basically what is here. Sometimes it can become very shiny, sometimes it can be very dull, but this is the right amount of I guess I'm just gonna say it, the finish on it. That's basically, so I don't sound dumb. And all the wings, like, everything. I'm not that big of a fan of this suit in general, but I do like what you did. But it's very uniform. It's very uniform with the color gold. Again, I'm gonna keep picking at you at the color scheme. Is why did you decide to really just kind of? It's literally all gold except for the yellow and like pink parts that are very minimal compared to the rest of it. What's the backstory behind it? What's the lore that you wrote for this?
Well, it's meant to be a suit, an orb suit, based on the Akatsuki. That's why it's called.
Yes.
Right.
Akasaki. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's meant to be the suit for what's her face, Kira's sister. I can't remember her name.
Kagali.
yeah.
Kagura, yeah. It's meant to be her suit. I think I inscribed something for the leader of Orb on one of the guns. Because at the time she's the leader of Orb. So one of the virus rifle on that one is actually got a text that is like a custom decal that says for the leader of Orb.
Oh.
You can't see it, unfortunately. Like I said, I had like pictures of this, loads saved on my drive, and obviously I've lost them all. But yeah, it's I designed all the text decals in this and the actual logo where the bird is on that circly thing. But yeah, again, I mean, this is another one of those things where, because it's a freedom kit, and I wanted to. One of the main things that I wanted to change was the displacement of the actual wings of it. So I didn't want to keep it the same. So I thought, well, what if we put this here and extend the barrel here, and actually instead of 2 railguns, why don't we put 4?
Yay.
What could go wrong if you put 4?
More rifles. Yes.
Yeah. So that's essentially what I've done. Changed the whole backpack. I think I spent quite some time on the backpack of this one.
Well, it's no good. Yeah.
Yeah. The shoulders on this one is from a Bearcat RX-78, just lying around. It was like a new kit. And I thought, let's put that on the Freedom, see what it looks like. And it looked alright. So I just took the shoulder of that new kit and then just put it here. So now the RX-78 Bearcat doesn't have this. Because I'm putting on this one. But again, that's another sacrifice kit.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. The if you look in the back there, that's actually feet units from I think it was an Exia or a Delta.
I can't recognize that. I'm trying to recognize things right now.
The boosters at the bottom, they're actually feet units from somewhere. I can't remember. I think it was from the Exia or something, but they're feet units. And then I've put some scratchable parts on the top and that big F-off booster there. That little missile there at the back, that's actually from Duel. You know, the grenade launcher attachment. That's actually from Duel.
Oh yeah.
The missile piece.
And those wing type thing on the shoulders, that's from Gundam Age.
Oh, the FXN. The FX series.
Yeah. The side skirts is... Where did I get side skirt from? I think that's from Delta Plus. No, sorry, that's... Yeah. Those shoulder mounts, they're from the Delta Plus.
I love hearing this because it's basically like, how many kits did I sacrifice? Who did I sacrifice for that?
Yeah. A lot of kits died for this.
Dude, what's the funny thing is I'm looking at this entire kit is I'm trying to piece everything together from which kits they came from, but it's really hard. Do you know why? It's because you're not afraid to actually leave them bare boned. And that's the one thing for me is usually when I go for a kit, I always put the armor pieces on there, so it's always covering them. So every single time I look at the
I always want to achieve what I want to achieve when I'm mixed build is that mix them to the extent that you don't know where they are or you don't know where they come from. That's how I approach my mix build, because if I mix something, then I want to be able to make it look like the 2 of the same parts. That's how I've done. That's what I think. That's what my approach in every mix build that I do is that mix it to the point where you don't know where they come from.
It just flows.
I could be mixing something with a scratch built part, and then people would be wondering where you get a part. Well, you can't really get a part because it's a scratch built part. So it's part mix, part scratch build. Yeah, the gauntlets on that one is from Valbraid kit that was lying around, so I just thought it looked good enough.
That was lying around.
Yeah, and I replaced the arms. Those are actually from Exia. Those arms, if you notice.
Wait, those arms are from Exia?
Mm-hmm. They're Exia arms.
Where are the 2 swords from?
The 2 swords. That's another MSG, but that's highly extended because the MSG Kotobuki part sword, the katanas, they're actually quite dinky. So I extended that by adding 2 more swords on top of it. So that's why they look long. So they're not stuck. You don't get it like that. They're already extended.
That looks sick.
Yeah.
But again, I played around with a freedom that will be highly maneuverable and can get to close range combat fairly quickly. So that's why I put a big massive booster in there. In theory, in reality, if that booster ignites, the whole suit probably disintegrate. But
it's just for show.
Yeah. But and those bottom boosters, they actually swivel around. So sort of the idea of it is going to be a thrust vectoring, so it's going to be really maneuverable. in terms of
Mhm.
there's a function, there's a system for the strike freedom and the freedom called high mast, high something maneuver thing, and that's where I got the idea from. Why don't we make this kit really like skinny and but with like massive boosters, wings on it,
Wow.
that maneuverability sort of concept. And that's what I've done with that one. And like I say, it's all gold. Again, this is another experimentation because I didn't plan this to be gold. They just, when I looked at the Akatsuki, well, why don't we make it sort of like Akatsuki inspired? And that's how. That's why it turned out to be gold. So it's like copper and gold in there mixed with candy pink.
Right. That pink is gorgeous. I really like
So
that.
that's
I
how
love
I
that pink.
turned out that way. Color-wise, anyway.
It's crazy with the amount of modifications and additions you add to the kits and how you can still pose them. And
Yeah.
stand
Oh
by
yeah,
themselves.
I like my kits to be able to retain its articulation because there's no point in just gluing things up and then you're not really looking at a Gunpla kit anymore. You're looking at a figure,
statue.
a statue. Yeah. So I want whenever I sort of build stuff or design stuff, I always leave some space for articulation, and just that's what Gunpla is. And the whole idea of Gunpla is the portability of it. Like taking pictures of your finished build is an absolute joy. It's like my favorite part of the whole build process.
Yes.
I usually take like hours and hours just posing it, because you work. If you think about it, you worked hard on trying to get the kit to where it is. You know, you want to be able to present it in a way that you're proud of it, and that's for me. Photography is like the one of the best process, I guess, in Gunpla building because you were able to show how you've done and there's that, and then you'll be able to see where you can improve. So that's how you learn from that. So you always have to like build one up from your previous project.
Yes.
That's how I
Right.
Yep.
Photography is something I'm trying to get into. Photography.
I learned
animation.
photography because of Gunpla. Believe it or not, I didn't know about photography until I started doing.
Oh, okay.
So another self-teach there. I mean, basic stuff, adjusting ISOs and aperture and whatnot.
Oh,
I mean,
still
these are
learning
my
too.
early builds, so I think this was shot at full auto, but later on, you'll see that manual's like the best to go editing-wise. But yeah, this was an experience again.
So I'm going to go into the next one here. If you will look at 41, we're back again.
Astray.
Stray.
So this is like the Mark II of the Camry.
Yeah. Was it Braden? Braden?
This was inspired by Raiden from Metal Gear.
Oh, okay. So it is.
Yeah, you can see the feet.
I know.
Yeah, the feet.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think Revengeance just came out when I did this. Like,
Oh, I love that game.
Oh, such a good game.
yeah.
It's so
Oh,
sick.
that was,
Yep.
Yeah, that was such a fun game.
Oh,
Yeah. So with this concept, weaponry-wise, it's very different from the heavy first version of the Camry. What I wanted to do with this one is make a rifle sword hybrid.
I was looking
That's
at
actually
that.
yeah, that's actually a sniper rifle from Dynamis again. 'Cause
Oh.
obviously, I've had them in its parts. Yeah, if you notice the bipod, that's actually a sniper rifle inverted.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And because of the mount of the sword, or you can sort of twist it down. So when he reverses that and it becomes rifle, you'll see in the next slide.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, that's the idea of it.
Oh, okay.
If he's sniping somewhere, then someone's approaching, you can just stab them. Why not?
No, that's useful.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's not like a short
Yeah.
bayonet. You got whole lance.
But yeah, again, the concept with this one is again like fast paced. So it's like a medium type, verging into the light type.
So,
That's
I
so
mixed
sweet,
I
yeah.
mixed this with Zoid's parts, believe it or not.
oh really? Oh,
Yeah, the size cut is from Zoid's, and then I scrapped to build the fins to make it look sort of the same design from the whole sort of like outlook of the kit.
So with this kit in general, what sticks out with me a lot is you're literally the monster hunter of Gundam kits.
Yeah.
So you just kill mobile suits and then just build it straight up.
The backpack is from the Nemesis, if you notice.
Poor Dynamis, dude.
Dynamis is one of his favorite.
Do you know what? It's useful because it means that you can pick and pull so much from one kit.
Well, I'm inspired. I know there's a Dynamis around here somewhere that I'm gonna pick apart and start modding.
You should.
It's over here in my house now. So
I know where you live. I know where you put them. Don't worry. I'll prime it.
okay, good. That's good.
Real
If you notice that he's holding the rifle.
Yeah, that's why I was flipping to try to find that one. Oh man. So what is it? Long range and short range.
Yeah, it covers areas.
Yeah.
It can hold its own.
Oh man, I love this. Is it still just a lot more MSG like parts you're still using nowadays too?
There's less MSG on this one. Obviously, the sword is MSG.
Yeah.
But, some parts are from Zoids. Obviously Gundam, and some parts are scratch built. The heels are scratch built. The heels are from Rosin Zulu.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I extended the heels a little bit, and obviously added like the heat sinks or the claws on the toes. The knee part is from a Zoid. It's a Zoid part. I can't remember
Okay.
which
I was gonna say I didn't recognize it. I didn't recognize those knees. I say holy.
from
shit.
a Liga Zero.
But
Obviously the Liga, the mount itself is different. I had to like incorporate it to suit the actual knee itself. So I didn't just stuck it together. I actually built something to make it look like it's an original part where it came from.
It's a smooth combination, that's for sure.
It has to have that smooth transition from part to part. So there's no point in mixing it and making it look like making it too obvious that it's a mixed part. I always tend to blend it somehow.
I have a quick question. So taking pictures for me is new. Posing is quite new to me because Derek and Jess knows when I build, I don't build for others, I guess. I don't really post my stuff, but now I kind of do more of.
Yeah.
How long did it really take for you to, I guess, learn the way the kits are posed and the best way it's posed? Because I'm looking at, like, when I was going through your slides for this kit specifically, number 44.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Number 47, number 46, gorgeous. Like I for myself, I'll as the stage I'm at right now, I'll never be able to do that.
I think you can. I think you can. It just depends on the angles, I guess. But yeah, posing ultimately is like it's very important. That's another technique that you will need to learn in terms of in the hobby, because obviously there's nothing worse than having a really gorgeous kit and posing it like a Lego.
Right. True.
I mean,
yeah, because
the whole point of Gunpla is again articulation. So you're able to manipulate that articulation in an action shot, and that's how it's very important. I think posing, and I think when there's a lot of resources, there's a lot of sites that will tell you that this is how you pose, but again, it's up to your imagination really. And I just thought, well, I'll look at reference shots and just try to mimic them, but most of the time, depending on the angle that you're trying to approach, obviously if you're holding a big gun, you want to be able to show that big gun to its entirety, and just imagine the recoil of that gun, so you kind of have to position yourself in a way that you'll be able to absorb that recoil. So like
I didn't think
things
about
like that.
Yeah, I never thought about
things like that. And obviously, when you're carrying a sword, you need to be able to see how heavy it is. If you look at 42, slide 42, you know that sword is heavy to carry in one arm, so that's why it's lying down. So when I'm thinking he's probably going to grab it with his left hand and swing it around. That's how I think of it.
Oh, right. I really like your interpretation on how specific things go. I really like that. I never thought about it having an actual story or background to.
There's nothing worse than Gunpla being posed bad. It's posing is posing is something that you would need to learn in the hobby, and it's like I said, it's very important. Presentation is everything. You could have a terrible kit, but if you pose it in a way that it's cool, then it will show that it's cool. If you post it, I mean, I can just get a stock kit and post it.
Posting has to be the thing that I feel a lot of people need to. So a lot of people, when you pick up when you finally get into the whole hobby, you're like, paint like that. I want to kit bash like that. But one of the things you can learn immediately off the bat without having to paint anything is learning how to pose and take pictures. You don't need paint. You don't need plot plates. You don't need anything other than your phone. I mean, nowadays it's so easy to take a picture.
If you're learning photography as well, posing is usually that comes with it. That's just how it is. Because if you're just learning photography and you're just taking random pictures, but you're not learning efficiently. You might as well strike two birds with one stone.
Yep.
That's how I approach.
Yep. But on the topic of posting, let's talk about the posting on this Sinanju backpack thruster guy. This is the Isred, the RG Isred. So this has to be one of my favorite color schemes of yours. I'm a really big fan of the red, but especially the muted red in the middle. This is something that I actually talked to with a friend of ours here in the community, Paul. So Paul, he was working on his what was it? His Rick Dom?
Yeah.
He's working on his Rick Dom, and he asked me. He's like, "Hey, what could I do to make it look better?" I'm like, color separation. Once you have different shades of the colors, and really, because then you really start to utilize the power of panel lines, right? Panel lines, they're cool. You put a little bit of ink in there, and they look nice. They bring out detail. But when you can separate parts with color, that's when things start getting really crazy and really sexy. So this is what I see here, especially with the red and muted red, and then the white, which is I'm going to say it's a very basic color scheme, but it's a very well executed color scheme. So, my favorite part of this has to be the Sinanju thrusters. Like, what's up? Like, you were just like, was this another Sinanju just laying around? You just saw it there. You're like, hey.
Right. So this design this is a collaborative project with a graphic designer in the UK actually. So this dude approached me. It's like, he gave me an artwork. It's like, this is what I have in mind, and I thought initially, well, that looks awesome. So this kit is composed by 9 kits. There's actually 9 kits in this build.
Oh my god!
There's
Justice.
There's Justice is the
Avalanche.
RG Justice is the base.
Yeah,
Tolgi's Free, Infinite Justice, Sengoku Astray, Sinanju, Red Frame Astray, Exia, RG Exia, and Avalanche Delta Kai.
Oh
yeah. Is that
All right,
9?
guys, I'm
Yeah,
done.
it's got to be 9 in that one. Yeah. So what he's done, basically, he got this design. Obviously, he presented me this design, and I thought, well, that looks awesome. But there was a few limitations in terms of the RGs. The frame itself is a different type of plastic. Because it's sort
using
of like
RGs.
PP plastic. So we kind of, especially like the feet, because initially the feet, I think, meant to be not the RG one. So we thought, well, we can't really do that because the whole frame, we want the frame to be the same, so we can't really mix any sort of HG parts in the frame itself. But yeah, there's 9 kits in this, and he presented me his artwork, and I thought, give me the parts, give me the 9 kits, and I'll build it. And that's how I did that. And obviously, he wanted to. I don't. He's like a big fan of the red Astray, so that's how the red turned out. But having it just one red color will make the kit really plain. So I thought, well, let's change the tones a little bit, and let's put like a muted red in there against like the bright red.
Right.
And that's how it turned out. Obviously, the RG Justice is one of the highly detailed RG kits out there, and it just worked right. You know, with the different shades of red.
This is matte coated, isn't it?
Matte coated.
Good.
Except for the metallics. The metallics actually
For
are.
the sword there, is not. You had to leave that.
Yeah.
Don't touch that.
But yeah, it's modded Sinanji pack. The bottom is from an Astray. The side skirts is from Delta Plus. Same Astray for the calves. Infinite Justice armor on the feet, but the frame itself is from RG Justice. Obviously, the Tolgi is free. Initially, he wanted the whip from the Tolgi is free on that one, but I thought, well, it's gonna be too much. Not that this isn't already too much, but I think having the Tolgi's whip there is gonna be. It's gonna. I just didn't feel that it would be suitable for this design, so that's what. Yeah, it turned out to be alright. Still highly.
It turned out to be all right.
I was gonna say that's more than all right.
Yeah.
So humble. So humble.
But yeah, it's another one of those crazy ones that like. Well, I love.
Aw, jeez. Oh, no, it's a really cool looking kit. Yeah.
So moving on to our next one here, your Mugen.
Yeah, this is the second version. Second version, this one of the first Gundam killer kit.
There it is.
Duel.
Yeah.
I changed the color bit. I changed the color on this one just to sort of suit. I didn't deviate too much on the original color scheme, but obviously, you know, it's got different shades of blue. Again, when I work stuff, especially the coloring of it, like say if I choose, if you've noticed a pattern there on my previous filter. If I choose red, I have to have a secondary red to complement it. So again, it's the same with this one. This one is a bit more. It's got a bit more mods from its like version 1, and I love the armor of the Duel. I think the leg armor is like one of the best armor designs for anything.
Yep.
And the chest
the
itself
knee and everything.
Is amazing. Yeah, it's just the armor balance on the Duel design is just one of the best out there. I think that's why I love doing it. When I got the opportunity to build this again, I just jumped on it and said, well, let's do it again. But luckily, this is another commission project, and the guy who commissioned me to do this, he said he's a big fan of the first version. You know, he really liked it, but I said to him, I know you like it, but I don't really want to do that design again. I want to be able to
evolve.
Evolve it. Yeah, that's the word. So he was fine with it. So let's go with this. So I did the extension for the chest here. That's longer.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I can see it.
Units are extended. It looks a bit odd without the armor. If it's just without the armor, it looks a bit.
Naked.
It's not proportioned, but when you put the armor in, I think it looks okay. A lot of people some people messaged me because I think someone did in China put Dragon Momoko like logo in it, so people were thinking that I was working with Dragon Momoko. But I got loads of messages saying, "When is this going to be pre-ordering?" That's like, where'd you get this image from? That's my build, but it's the logo. Someone just put a Dragon Momoko build there, so obviously that's not going to be released, and I was quite annoyed with that because people were thinking that this is like a Dragon Momoko release when it's not. But it's again the design of this, like, you notice the visor, the bottom part of the face is actually a Strike Freedom face.
Yeah, it is.
And obviously the V fin is a Strike Freedom, so I just changed it from the Duel, and that's another experiment because I thought, well, obviously they're the same kits, but I wanted to make the dual sort of face a bit more meaner, and I think make it more angrier and a little bit more constrained than the original part. So that's why I just put Freedom in there and see how it turned out. And again,
Okay.
that's how it turned out. Like that.
So it turned out better this way, I find, any.
Yeah. So obviously, I changed the pack on this one, but I didn't change it too much. I just added more wings to it.
Yeah.
Because the first version, I just put like the Astray sort of boosters on the sword and that one.
Mm-hmm.
This one I wanted to make its own flight pack. Similar swords, but the displacement of it's different. And I left the guns there, so I actually made like a new rifle.
I noticed the little mini Gatling rifle there you have on there. It's really cool.
Yeah. So I added the Gatling gun there.
Derek.
Yes. Yeah.
Calm down.
I did bring back the guns.
You brought back at least a couple of them. I like, yes.
Yeah.
I think on this one, I actually would have, like, me personally, and of course I'm just a pleb, but I would have preferred the dual head instead of the strike.
Really?
Yeah.
Gundam, I don't like the strike Gundam head. The strike Gundam head is just weird to get out of here.
Come on.
Yeah.
Strike
No,
one.
I mean, to me, I said personal. I said personal. That saves me. That just saves me from everything else.
Save
But
you.
quick question: have you ever worked on resin? Because
No.
I just see a bunch of plastic here. It's no resin for you ever.
No resin, no, never. I've never worked with resin ever.
Ooh.
Okay. That's
I
actually
just
pretty.
thought, well, I don't know. I never had the opportunity to work with resin, so I just never worked with.
I think the reason is because you're just anything that resin can do, I can recreate with plastic. And it's just like you're just going out there.
There is that, yeah. But
Yeah, I see it. I see it with
there's
you.
a lot. Most of my friends, people think that they're resin parts, and it kind of takes me off that they assume that way. See,
Mhm.
you don't. Resin is to me is sort of like I don't know. It's ready for you, isn't it? So you just slap it in a kit and that's it. That's done. There's hard work involved, but it's not. It's less than if you would modify plastic. Just that's just for me personally. So I don't work with resin. But yeah, I mean, if resin can be highly detailed, my mentality is, well, I can probably make that a bit more detailed, I guess.
Yeah. I definitely get it. But that's cool and all. But then we have one of the most famous, and this is actually one that I do wish to get one day, is the Strike Freedom. So, what do you think of this, Kevin?
I love it. For me, the Strike Freedom is hands down one of my most favorite next to the Astray. Quick question though, I need to clear this up.
Yeah.
Derek and I, we questioned this kit. Is it a PG or is it an MG? I said MG. He said,
This is MG.
you owe me dinner.
What?
You owe me
What?
dinner.
MG, yeah.
It
This
just
is
looks
MG.
too detailed. I'm just looking at the gold. It's like so detailed out there. I said, no way, really?
I changed the armor design on this quite a lot. Obviously, the feet. I designed the feet on this one, and it's just, to me, it looks a lot better than the stock. It's got more height on it. It's got some wheels, but I kind of made it more angular. If you notice, the whole pattern of this thing is an angular design. So one of my approaches, if I'm mixed building, is that, and you heard me before that I'm a fan of uniformity. So I mix depend on the shape of the armor. So I would never mix like a rounded part to an angular part.
Oh.
That's how I have that transition, and to make it look uniform, because I just mix it with the same shape. And if I can't find a similar shape, I scratch build it. Same with the knees in this one. And if you look on the top part of the legs, that's actually because the stock part is a rounded sort of leg and made it squared to match the feet and the overall shape of the armor. If you notice, the shoulder is from 3.0 on that one, RX-78.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the earlier version, I used Verka, and that design stuck. So I thought, well, let's use something more advanced. So let's use that part, but keep the shoulder part the same, so not deviate too much. So those stock Freedom on the top of the shoulder, they're actually magnetized to that part itself. So that's
Oh,
The
okay,
magnetized.
okay.
height.
Nice.
You can just detach that.
Mhm.
I added I extended the sort of like the cover on the biceps and the arms, and I added some gauntlets to it, because the gauntlets of the stock Freedom is just like this. I don't know what shape it is, but you know what shape. You know
it's
the
like a-
one where it's got the energy beam on it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
gauntlet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I sort of expanded on that one. Why don't we use this part and just scratch build it and see what we can do, and that's how I've done with that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed building something that this was, I think, was one of my most advanced builds that I've done up to this point. Because again, this is a culmination of the things that I've done from the previous build. So I just basically improved the design.
Right.
You know, and if you see I balanced this quite well in terms of the weaponry and the mods itself.
Yeah.
And the face in this one is not a Freedom face. I changed the face. This is actually from a Curious.
Curious. What?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
Curious.
Curious face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fooled me.
That's not a Strike Freedom face. It's a Curious face.
Wow.
Wait a second.
Because I had a Curious kit. I just loved the face of that one, so I just thought, well, let's put that on a Strike Freedom and see what it looks like. And the V fin, that's actually from a Impulse. Yeah, that's from an Impulse. That's not a Freedom V fin. Obviously, the Freedom fin is sharper. This one is more squared. So I just thought, well, that's going to be the basis of it. The chest, the top of the chest is scratch built, because that's usually rounded. And again, to make it the same overall, I just thought, let's make that angular. Another scratch built part on that one. So yeah, this is a more square design, sort of like balanced it. The front skirts, they're actually extended. They're actually bigger than the original part. Same with the back part. The initial design of this one usually had like, I wanted to have it more like what do you call it? You know, the unicorn design, where it's got sort of like armor breaks. But I found, well, if I did that with the skirt, I'd have to do it with everything. So I just thought, well, let's just extend it and add a little bit more depth to it.
Right.
Same with the back skirts.
I want the viewers, if you guys are looking at these pictures, especially starting from 65, 66, 67, 70, 71, all of these are 3/4 pictures. This is how you want to take a picture of a kit. You know, before you go on Instagram and you post a picture of it literally just looking at you like this, that's not how you want to take the picture. I think this is where you probably started taking your photography a little bit more serious when you mentioned that earlier, because you really do start. The point of the 3/4 is being able to see dimensions, giving 3 dimensions to your model, seeing all the detail here. Like I can see just here, but if I just turn around now, you can see my ugly nose. But that's the point. I gave it 3 dimensions now, and that's basically the foundation of these kind of pictures. And honestly, your photography, literally, it was really awesome in the beginning, but now you did take it to that next level, and I can see the change in your mentality when it came to what you wanted to show and how you wanted people to perceive.
Yeah, again, this is just a culmination of experience from the previous builds, and I think it's this one. I wanted to present it in a way that people will be able to see what I've done with this kit and how, whether it's subtle or a mod that's major in a way. But I wanted to be able to show what I've done on all corners of the actual build itself. But yeah, this is
Right.
I could even say this is one of my favorite builds that I've done. It's been I've really enjoyed doing it. And like changing the armor itself and making it look like it's a resin kit. A lot of people think that I've used resin in this one. Well, there's zero resin used in this kit.
It's all
Right.
plastic.
Right.
The feet is purely scratch built. Obviously, that's not the stuff. It's really different from the original part itself. But yeah, extended the showed a little bit more of the framework. And
Right, for sure.
Panel lines, and I put like a flesh. I incorporated like flesh colors in this one. If you notice on the skirts and on the feet itself, just to give the white a little bit more contrast, because I didn't use too much grey. I did use the grey, but I wanted the grey to pop out more on the side railguns. And that railgun is actually a nightmare to do. Same with the wings, because those railguns, if you built a Strike Freedom, they've got some really massive lines on that one. And because it's got like a frame on it, so you kind of have to pre-build. You have to seal the armor, but like have the frame painted so that you because once you paint it, you can't take it apart. And same with the wings, it's got like massive lines on the wings. So what I've done is that I've painted the frame first, masked it, and then modded it. Because once you've sealed the seam lines, you can't obviously you can't take it apart. So the wings took a lot of work on this one, because I didn't want those screaming seam lines on those wings, especially on those dragoons. They're just pure seam lines. So I had to mod them in a way so that I can just detach it. But yeah, it took a lot of effort to try and do that.
I'm gonna have to pick your mind on that seam lines thing. But speaking of super awesome designing, let's go on to 73. This thing is
PG.
This is my most favorite of yours.
Really? I was going to say this is great.
This PG is just phenomenal. One, nobody I've know will ever try modding a PG, for one. When I first started seeing you do the PG, I was just like, no, this isn't happening. This isn't happening. I bet, because you have some side by side pictures of just a regular PG build, and then you have the modded one, and it's just gorgeous.
The main challenge was the proportion of the PG, because if you look at the PG, they're a bit stumpy.
Yeah.
They're like really. Obviously you have to match the size and the scale, but I find that proportion-wise the PGs are a bit off. So with this one, I had to extend parts to make it look more proportionate in what I want to do with this kit, and just expanded on some stuff really. Again, this approach is a bit more angular in terms of the design of its armor. But if you notice on the skirt, that I was telling you about the armor breaks on the Freedom before that.
Yeah.
That was the sign of the skirt. I just used it on this one.
oh really?
Oh.
Yeah. That's a Strike Freedom skirt. That one. I was supposed to be for this Falcon here, but I thought, well, if I did that, rest of the kit. So I thought, well, since I'm already building a PG anyway, so I think I was already whilst I was building Freedom. So I just thought, let's just swap the parts around. So
the chest
having parts to sacrifice.
Holy
Right.
shoot.
The chest on the chest on the Astray here is just phenomenal. That's what really caught my eye when I first saw it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Because that part, if you have a PG, that part is just a plain big old plastic.
Exactly.
There's not really detail to that. But because I think that's one of the main parts that I worked on. But because I did that, well, obviously, if I didn't mod the others, it would just look odd. So I'd have to like highly detail the others, the other parts. So this took quite a while to do. It's like 6 months of work.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is this one yours?
it's another commission project. This one. I'm a dude in Hawaii.
Okay. Oh man. I'm just looking at 77, like the comparison between the size, like you actually raised them up.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you I'm
If
guessing-
you notice, like the proportion is just off, I think. And what I've done is just extended it in a way to make it look better, I guess, in my point of view. But yeah, I just hyper detailed everything.
Oh,
I didn't leave any armor undetailed in this one. I actually detailed it apart.
Oh.
Scribe.
Yeah,
Dude.
Scribe added some plating on it. That the shoulders where it sees like the inner part of the shoulder, the back shoulder
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
77.
That looks like, yeah.
That's actually masking work. That's not two parts.
Mhm.
On the PG, it's just a single part. It just looks like
yeah.
that. But if you painted it in a way, it just if it's just one color, then it just obviously that's meant to be like the frame itself. So that was another challenge because it's got some tiny parts and tiny bits, and we put a masking tape on.
Oh man, that's so much detail because I have a perfect grade Astray myself. It's still sitting in a box because I'm still waiting to paint on that thing. But like that's one of those parts I'm like looking at. I say, how the world did you manage to get that piece in there? I say, jeez.
Those wings are scratch built.
You extended the back skirts and like
The back skirts is from Curious, I think.
oh curious.
The big thing, the big long thing in the middle of the skirt. Yeah, that's from I think that's a Curious knee.
Oh, so
And
what did you use for the gauntlets there? Because on the side of the Astrays there, I was like trying to pick it out there out of my head. Is that from the other Astray or?
I can't remember where it was. I think it's from a frame arm part.
Oh, frame arms. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I heavily modified that one, put some extra panels on it, it didn't look like that. So.
Heavily modified.
I
I
know.
say it's not even unrecognizable
It's
by
an
my
understatement.
Yeah,
The
I
gauntlets-
added
No, I was gonna say the gauntlets on the side kind of reminds me of the Hulkbuster.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Yeah, no,
But yeah, I added
Amazing
some more sharp. So similar design approach as my very first Red Astray, with the shoulder. Those sort of like canards is actually from.
Oh.
I think it's from a Strike. Wing,
Oh, from
I
a
think.
Strike.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can't remember, but it's from a kit somewhere. I didn't scratch build that one.
It's from somewhere. Something was lying around.
Yeah.
Dude.
Weirdly enough, when I mix build, I don't measure it most of the time.
No, you
I just pick a part and they fit perfectly.
What?
Just pure luck. Yeah. I don't like measure it. It's not measured. Some of them. I cut it to an extent, but if I find a part, they just fit for some reason.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's good that it's that way. It can less work for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, size. I really extended some of the stuff, like the legs, the back. If you look on 79, the back bit of that.
Yeah, the legs there.
Yeah, that's actually from a Wing Zero. Front.
Oh my god.
This
is. I think
Yeah.
you're easily becoming one of my favorites because one of my favorite things so far is just listening. Just the amount of kits I've heard you name throughout the whole show right now is absurd. It's just like it's more kits than the ones I have.
That's
It's like it's a Wing Zero here. It's like
Yeah.
oh.
Then the knee on this one is scratch built because the original knee is rounded, and I wanted to make it more look angular, so I just scratch built. completely unique part for this one.
I think what I like about the leg here is like you actually put some other like different colors instead of just sticking just to the red and whites too. Like you having the metallic colors like the bronze and the gold.
Yeah.
That actually brought it out even more on top of it. That's really cool actually because like red is straight, but you now add some extra little accent colors. It actually is really cool. I never thought about that for this little unit. And I'm looking
kind of designed like the first to look at part, so it's gonna be like this bronze color. If you notice at the back as well, it's got like that bronze, and part of the frames is part of the inner frame is in that as well. Yeah, it's again two shades of on the white. I didn't just use the white. That's not actually white. I don't paint white.
Oh no,
it's actually like a neutral gray.
Oh,
Painting white, if you paint a lot of kits, it's like one of the hardest colors to paint. I think it's one of the hardest colors to paint, and because you can never get the right white. You can get like I don't know, ultimate. Gaia has an ultimate white, but it doesn't. The way it behaves on a kit just feels off. So I use the neutral gray one, and that's depending on where you shine the light, it will turn white.
Oh, really?
Like that light shaded white.
So it's a whole illusion of it. So.
Yeah. So that I never paint a kit white. It's all like gray. Because white, I think, is like one of the hardest.
Yeah.
One of the hardest colors to paint.
No, I like it a lot, and then it's like going through just looking at it quickly on the shoulders, and then also I'm looking at the attachment for where the swords are. Like you even put like a wings on that. That's actually really neat too. That's different.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's a strike wing. That one. Or,
yeah. For the ale strike.
Yeah. Because I didn't. Because obviously the swords are gonna be on the side, so to incorporate it with the overall sort of design, I wanted to have a bit more sort of like an aerodynamic.
On slide 82. This is the literally this kit is the end boss of all end bosses. Right? Like,
oh man.
You put on like a full armor on top of
full armor Astray. Yeah, everything in this one is detachable. It's just magnetized.
That is ridiculous.
Obviously, that's the GN arms. I just use that as a base pack. That one was supposed to cannons to it. That's from a Griffin, the missile pods of Griffin frame arms bit, and for the frontal bit is actually a Kyrios. Was it Kyrios? Yeah, it's a HG. HG Kyrios or Arius, I think. And I just wanted to use. I used it as a chest. The boosters for the chest is from a Zoids.
You're crazy, man.
That is ridiculous.
I love it. I love this thing.
Thing is sick.
Yeah, and this is one of the specs that the client requested. Is I want an Astray that looks fast and looks heavy at the same time. Well, you can we can work with that. So let's
You want a god. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The swords are obviously stuck. I just added a bit more plating in it and separated the color. The gun itself is from. If you notice the gun, I'll explain the gun a little bit. The gun is the back end of the gun is from the original, obviously stuck rifle that it comes with. The barrel is actually from a dual bazooka.
What?
Really?
Yeah, that's a dual bazooka. That one. And then at the end of it, the muzzle is from a Wing Zero rifle. And obviously, I wanted to have like a gun blade design, so I stuck on a blade from the Astray there.
Yeah, definitely saw
From
that.
the blue Astray.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. So, actually, that's one of the good. Well, I enjoyed making that gun. So, I think it's well balanced in terms of how it looks like. The size is just perfect for it, I think.
Jess, I'm gonna need my I'm gonna need my graveyard back.
Yeah. So a quick question. So you keep mentioning the whole commission thing. Yeah. So let's say I'm this client. I'm not sure how much you can give out. I'm not gonna ask for prices or anything. But when you did commissions and all that stuff, do I basically come up to you and I tell you, okay, here's my budget, this is what I want, or do I tell you what I want and then you tell me, you know what, these are all the kits I'm going to use for it, and you have to pay for all of them? Like, how does that work?
Well, it depends really on what the kit is. Obviously, usually you tell me what kit you want and what we do a draft design on what sort of weapons do you want on it? Do you want it with loads of guns, or do you want it with swords? I mean, the costing bit is obviously going to be a factor, but it's not a factor so much. It depends on what you want with the kit. I don't overly charge. I only ever charge on the time that it takes me to do it. But with regards to materials, you can either provide it if you have materials yourself. Just give me the materials and I'll work with it. That would drastically reduce the cost down. But yeah, it just depends on what you want with yourself. And obviously, if it's a heavily modified kit like this BG Astray, then obviously it's going to cost more in terms of because of the amount of work that is involved to make it. But yeah, it just depends really. I can't really gauge or just standard cost. Depends on, you tell me what you want, and then I'll tell you how much it will cost.
Oh, okay.
I have $5. $5 is all I have.
I'll get you something from one of those gachapon systems there, buddy.
Yeah, you know that the S-Red one that I didn't the kit on that one is all his. That was all clients. He just sent me 9 kits.
Wow.
And
wow.
And
so this
that was it.
Powerful guy, Parley.
Dude.
Well, talking about a lot of kits and talking about favorite kits, Derek, you do the honors, man. What's up?
Ooh, your heavy arms. I love this thing so much.
This one.
Oh.
Again, the guy who requested this, he was a big fan of the Dreadnought. So I thought, well, I don't really want to make that. I want to make it, but I want to improve on it.
This is improving? Holy shit. You put more on here than the last one.
Yeah, there's more guns in this. I just realized there's more guns in this than the other one.
Man. Dude, I'm flipping through. I'm drooling because the fact is, I actually have one of those MSG parts kits actually. So
that's extended, that one.
Yeah.
Yours would be a lot shorter.
Oh, you extended all the barrels and the. Ooh.
Yeah, I extended that one.
Nice.
So with this one, I used the MG Heavy Arms as the main kit, and I used GPO2s.
Yeah, the rocket backpack.
MLRS, yeah, the MLRS.
Oh, man.
And the bazookas.
So
I've got a complete GPO2s here somewhere.
Well,
nice weapons out of that.
So Jess, I made a mistake before getting TJ on the show. I forgot to pass over Derek a couple boxes of Kleenex.
Yeah. No, this is so cool, dude. This is the whole entire facade that I love the most. Is accuracy by volume. I don't care. That way.
Yeah,
man.
What I love about this is the color.
Oh, you still kept the original colors.
I stayed true with the original color, but obviously I didn't make too much color separation on it, just not deviate to the original stock colors they came with. But yeah, I like the original color of the and that feet is actually Dynamis front feet, that one.
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely a Dynamis front feet. Yep, it is.
Yeah, it's Dynamis front feet, that one.
What do you use for the heels? Because you have the heels
anchors.
You have a sort of it almost looks like it feels like an anchor or something on their back.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure where that come from. Actually, it was just a part lying around, and there was 4 of them. Just use that as an anchor on it.
Use whatever you got.
Obviously, because he's got loads of guns, you need some sort of. I mean, in reality, if everything fires on this, everything fires at the same time on this Gundam, you would need some sort of stand, or you would just fall over. But that's the fantasy I wanted to create: is that let's make your heavy arms. Let's make another heavy arms.
Extra heavy arms.
Yeah, and let's not give him some dinky missile pods.
No.
Let's actually give him some nuclear pods.
Oh man!
Holy
He's
shit.
on steroids on himself. I love this.
Yeah.
Holy
This
shit.
is yeah.
I personally don't like the heavy arms suit. I told Derek this, and Derek's like, "Why?" But what I like about yours is the reason I don't like it, and I told him, is the design of it. It's too blocky for me. It's just blocky.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go blocky, go all the way, and this is what you did. You just went boom, super blocky, and wow, beautiful, beautiful piece. Derek, I hope you're getting ideas of what you're gonna do with yours, man.
Oh, dude, it's not even. I have like, what is it? I have 3 different heavy arms kits sitting at home, including the full armor and a couple other things. But I'm not to this point where I can customize or kit bash them. I'm too chicken too.
Oh man.
No, but this
speaking
is
of
amazing. Yeah.
You sure that's all you want to say
Proportion-wise.
about the heavy arms, dude?
No.
Proportion-wise, it's actually extended, so the chest is extended.
Oh man. No. All
Is
I
that
can
why?
Just to-
What?
No, what were we gonna say? All you can think is.
All I can think is like, like, what was it? I'm losing my train of thought because there's so many weapons on this thing. I'm like thinking, say you put bazookas on there. I can't see like how you can lift those things up on top of there either.
Well, yeah, if you they actually, I measured those so that you'll be able to reach them. Yeah, well, I didn't add a picture where it actually. Well, there's a 95. Yeah, it's sort of moving up there, but yeah, I mounted it on the shoulder because I know, like, that's quite heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the original mount from GTO2.
God. So that's why it doesn't look so blocky, because you actually extended the torso then.
Yeah.
Give it a
I
little bit
extended
leaner
the
look.
torso.
Mm.
I always like the torso is like the main thing that I extend for most kits. It's if you extend the torso, you'll notice that the proportion changes quite drastically. If you, most of my kits have got extended torso. Which is where the torso for me is it's too short for most of the Gunpla kits. Like with the new, that's short, so I extended that one. Same with this heavy arms. The Astray's alright. I think the Astray's are one of the few designs that are actually proportionate in terms of how it looks. But most Gunpla kits, they've got like a short torso, like the lower half especially. I always extend it first. That's like the main thing that I look at.
I'm scared to ask this.
Yeah. So,
How much does it cost on an average when you do one of these customs to yourself?
for myself, well, depends on how many kits I use. I suppose then they don't cost that much because I've already got parts lying around. So if you have to buy it outright, it will cost quite a lot in kit count. So.
Oh man.
Because I've already got the parts, then there, isn't it, for me to just pick and choose.
Well, with that said, and going, so it's a good thing we're in the full armor zone, because we go into this age, this other beautiful. I seriously love how you take pictures of your prime kits. Prime kits are sexy. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, definitely.
The H normal assault jacket. It's really nice. It's a very simple color scheme: blue, white. Very traditional. Until we get into the whole, let's put guns on him, and shield, and everything. So, like, man, you don't let them rest, dude.
This build is full. The armor in this is fully scratch build.
What?
Like the assault is scratch build.
Holy
What?
Yeah. What you see in here is scratch build. You'll never find that kit anywhere. Like the chest armor, the skirt armor, the side skirts, the lower legs, and the actual feet.
I'll go to slide 102 because there's like a nice comparison of the two there. Holy shoot.
Yeah. yeah. Really bad.
Oh my god, you're right.
Like,
it's completely different.
holy shoot. The feet. What?
The feet is inspired by Thunderbolt, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh, I
yes, they
see
look
it now.
exactly like Thunderbolt. Yes. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
A question that we actually got a while ago, and I don't want it to be left on there. So Edmund, one of our viewers, he asked a while ago if you have custom decals for all of your kits?
Yeah,
So do you like
Most of the
order
time,
them?
I make them my own. I print them.
Oh, you actually have what?
Yeah,
Oh, you actually make them?
yeah, I design them. Well, funny you mentioned that. I'm actually hopefully we're gonna release our own. So I'm working a design with New Type Official. A good friend of mine who owns it, Benji. We're gonna have decals soon to be released. So that's something top secret.
Oh wow.
Well, you heard it here first,
We're gonna
Edmund. I mean,
Everyone.
stick around for that,
Yeah, we're
man.
gonna
You
be working on. We're gonna be. My approach is sort of more real type. So I know like HIQ does a lot of decal stuff. I mean, I've used some other decals as well, but I wanted, like, say if I have a rifle, there's no decals for like the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no decal like the energy inputs and everything. So what we're trying to do is sort of make some sort of warning decal for that, like say, you know, power decoupling or warning needs to be maintained by a weapons technician. You know, small things like that, just to give it a little bit of extra touch in terms of finishing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be working on that. We're working on it, but we haven't finalized the design yet. But it's going to be printed with HIQ, so it's going to be released with HIQ parts. So the print quality is going to be a HIQ part.
Nah.
Because I know they did.
Wow.
Benji designed the BLM decals that you type released. He's designed that, so I'm working with him too.
Oh wow. Well, I'm gonna be excited for that.
Can't wait to see
Hopefully
those.
soon.
things.
I can't wait, dude.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. I'll be
MTM.
ordering lots because with all the weapons, I usually toss in on my kits extras. Usually, I will need
Yeah,
some.
there's like thrusters and like the feet and stuff.
Oh,
This needs to be like
Wow.
maintained. But I've actually created like a decal script for that one. And yeah,
Wow.
hopefully
Well,
it's
can't
gonna
wait,
be,
dude.
we're gonna finish
That's
it.
awesome to hear. And you know what's
Something that we've been
also
working on
awesome?
for quite a while.
Do you know what's also awesome?
yeah.
Yes. Can we just move to him, please, on 104? Oh my God, yes. So
Yeah. How about this?
Yeah.
Let me explain this some reason to the viewers. GMs and Jess. Whatever fascination, Jess just goes with all the GMs. You can try to think of all the funny acronyms you can think of. They're all true, right?
yeah.
Very true. They are very, very true.
After working in this kit, I mean, I love GMs in the past, but like after working in this kit,
Yeah.
this kit specifically is one of the best MG kits I've ever built. Because of how
Sniper too.
Yeah, because of it's so basic that it's really good because it's basic.
Yep.
And you know it's a really good design, I think. But what I've done with this one is I've just taken it out there and give it a little bit more, I suppose, in terms of weaponry. But the sniper bit is the main deal breaker for me because I love sniper builds, and when I was handed with this project, well, we have to change that Car 98 looking rifle that came with, and it's called Car 98 as well, isn't it? The weapon name is Car 98, and I'm like, why would you want a bolt action sniper on a Gundam? It's like, well, there's no efficiency there. Let's give this Gundam an energy sniper rifle where it doesn't run out of ammo. And that's what I've done with this one. But I was looking for like parts for the sniper itself, and the only thing I can find was a real type like model kit of an MSR sniper rifle. And what I've done is I've modified it and made the stock Gundam and the rest of the barrel like real type. So it's a mixture of parts, and I explained that I think on the latest slide because I actually did a presentation in San Francisco when like last year for the BuildCon. But yeah, I enjoyed building this and the color scheme of it. Yeah.
This is yours, or is this a commission piece?
It's another commission piece. I don't build anything. I'm a slave for people. I just pay me and I just build it.
let me just congratulate you, because one of the things I see a lot of GM builds, and all kidding aside, I love GMs. They're my favorite. Hence why I'm building this is my second custom, and it's a Jesta.
Yeah.
I love them to death. But what you did here is a work of art, man. I mean, the small little details that you have in the chest and the details that you have on the knees. Can we just talk about that real quick? How did you know what? Basically, what's going to happen, I'm letting you know right now, is that after the show, I'm probably going to message you tomorrow. And I'm going to be like, hey, man, you have some time where I could just ask you just a few questions, because I want to know how you were able to get that texture on the right leg, on the knee. Was that just plot plating put into a design?
That's plot plating, yeah. That is plot plating in the same exact size. So I measured that one by one. Because obviously, if GM is always going to kneel on his right knee, sniper.
Yeah.
That's just how it. And if you have, so it did. I sort of did an asymmetric approach, where I have to put treads on this one because he's going to be kneeling down on that one, and because the knee itself has some sort of vents, that I wanted to cover that vent so that it doesn't obviously get dust or F onto it, and that's what I've done. And if you notice, that part is actually from a razor part, and I did not measure that. It just fits. If you go to 107, if you go to slide 107, slide 107.
Yeah.
Like a glove.
See that it just fits like a glove. I did not modify that whatsoever. All I've done was I just looked at my parts sort of drawer, and I'm like, oh, this might fit, and it just fit. And I just sat there. Yeah, and it's good that it's got like a little bit at the bottom, because you can either hang, you can have like pilots could abseil on that one and do the need for maintenance. So yeah, I didn't even have to modify too much now.
Oh,
so, like, holy shit!
It just modded itself. Yeah. Yeah.
It puts me to shame. I mean, I know my wife says it all the time, because when I'm building, especially now, like I haven't built a lot when it comes to custom, and I look at my progress and I look at it and I'm like, I'm not where I want to be, and so seeing something like this really kind of puts my ability to perspective, and it's like I still have so much more to learn, and it's very humbling and it's very awesome to see. And I just really wanted to get to the sniper because I love GMs, and the sniper rifle, the whole mod, it's beautiful, man. You know what this reminds me of? Since this is basically a real gun, right?
Yeah, it's an MSR gun.
It's like the intervention kind of looking from like Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's an Exia knee there at the back where the pads used to be, where you're gonna put your cheek in. That's there's an age part at the bottom. I've added some part. I mean, the where the wires is gonna be, that's from the ground type GM. I just used on that one. The actual gun was actually like not scaled to the Gundam. It was like really long, so I had to cut it. I cut it from the back where the stock is, and like I added an original. I added like a part somewhere that I took, and then made it sort of like an extendable stock. I don't know too much of a real type gun, but I just thought, well, design wise, this might look good, and this might look okay actually when you put it all together, and that's what I've done. But obviously, this is primarily an energy type sniper rifle, so you would need some sort of like energy tanks for it. Now, if you notice on 111, that's the original color scheme of it, and I thought, well, that doesn't look good.
Oh, there
so
is.
I've actually stripped that weapon of color, and that's why I sort of made it the same with the armor. But I sort of camouflage it. That's the only thing that I've camouflaged it to make it look different from the actual armor itself. But usually snipers, they usually paint their snipers to a different color than their, and that's what I've done with this one. So it's more like a real type approach, but sort of like in the
that's what I love it, realism.
Yeah. So,
speaking of realism, Nike.
Yeah.
The Nike. So my biggest question to this one is, was it a collaboration?
Yeah. This was for ComplexCon.
Oh wow!
This was actually some dude bought this, like a sneakerhead bought this. He just like when ComplexCon opened the first day, apparently he just went like, "I'll buy that off you," and it was sold pretty much straight away. But yeah, it's because it's ComplexCon. We wanted to because obviously it's a sneaker.
Yeah.
We were looking at kits to like what kit could we use to put some to make it Nike and obviously Jordans, and obviously my love for sneakers, as you may be able to tell. I thought, well,
You can
let's
show
do a
your
mega
drip,
size.
man. Come on.
let's do a mega size one.
Oh.
And I really enjoyed building this. I mean, there's not a lot of mods in this one. It's just purely paint. But I wanted to. It's mainly the decals that I took some time to design on this one, and how the text needs to be Helvetica Nui, because that's what off-white texts are. And yeah, it's I really enjoy doing this. Just it's a quick project. It's a quick side project because I was working with GM Sniper and Gundam Age whilst I was working with this one. So yeah, it's I think this took like 1-2 weeks. So,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
two.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say like 1 or 2 days. I was about to...
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yikes.
what I thought you were gonna say too.
Yeah, I had to get like third-party decals for this one because I didn't have time to make it myself. But yeah, if I just imagine if Shah was rocking something, I'd like to make it up. If you know he's gonna take the Principality of Sion and
Oh man.
Yeah. Wow,
So-
dude.
The Bergeron.
yeah.
This was the one you just finished, right?
Yeah. This was a design I've thought of for a very long time. Because when Renacita came out, I just thought, well, that could be the next Deathscythe, really, because of how sharp the design is. And initially, when I was doing some draft designs for this, I was going to use the Deathscythe Hell wings.
Yeah.
And I was playing around extending it a little bit, and I thought, well, it's been widely used, that one, so I thought let's just use the OG design, the OG wings. But yeah, it's this one is subtle and not at the same time.
Oh man.
Because there's a lot of the lower chest part, the lower torso part that's completely scratch built. That's not stock.
Jeez.
Because again, if you notice, like the wing kits, the waist are actually quite short. So to make it look more proportionate, I just completely got rid of that one and built a new one.
Wow.
So
Jeez.
nonchalantly.
Yeah. You humble all of us.
But yeah, can you see? I wanted to make it look more squared as well, because I know I'm going to be using like some quite sharp parts throughout the whole armor.
Right.
Holy God, dude.
And the middle of the skirt, the waist, that's actually a scratch built part as well. Because that's obviously wing Gundam kits, they're like quite short, but I wanted to make it because of how sharp the shoulders are. I wanted like the middle of it to sort of form like a V.
Right.
On that design. So
Mm-hmm.
I extended it and made a new frontal skirt for that one. So yeah, the upper arms, that's scratch built as well. That's not stock. Because the original arms, they were quite thin, and obviously with it holding like a big massive scythe, you need some more muscle to that one.
Yeah.
Muscles. I'm like looking at the cloaks. I was like, what the heck? How did you manage to even mount that?
Yeah, that is actually the original part. Here's something. Yeah, if you notice, that's the side binder.
Oh,
That binder is
Oh.
fully scratch built. That binder. It's not
really?
this binder. Yeah, that's scratch.
Oh wow.
Which, by the way, took a long time to do.
You made that
because
entire
of
thing-
because of how the main shoulder is extend outwards.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
wanted to like scratch same sort of curvature, but like an angular format. So yeah, that's fully scratch built.
Dang. Man.
And I'm not really a fan of energy weapons like close quarter ones, so I wanted to scratch build like the scythe as well. That's fully scratch built.
So basically, when this video goes live completely again, we'll just put in the description. Take a shot every time you hear scratch build, completely build, sacrifice. Because this is
this is actually the cloak itself is extended because the original part is like really short. So I wanted to like make it go past the knees just to give it. And obviously the sharpness that I made with it as well, because I think it wasn't that sharp. The original part wasn't that sharp. But yeah, there was quite a lot of work that went into this with the heat sinks and whatnot. And if you notice at the back as well, that's actually like the Strike Freedom booster in the middle on 128.
Okay.
There's a Strike Freedom, like the bottom bit of the Strike Freedom booster. Yeah, I did that on that one. Mixed that, but you could never tell if I didn't tell you. Unless you really know, unless you really know your parts, then you think, yeah, that's a Strike Freedom one.
I can't tell where things start and end on this thing. A lot of parts.
The ankle guards that scratch built as well.
Did you take a shot, Chest?
Yes, I'm right here.
The back stabilizers on the legs that scratch built. Because with the Renasta, that's just bare. That one, that's just a booster, and that's just got like a mini thruster on it. So he used like metal parts in this one quite a lot.
Oh, gee.
Wow.
Like I never ever think about like scratch building like this. Like especially when you say you'd scratch build like the scythe there. Like what?
Yeah, that side is scratch built.
Like I'm like looking at it there. I'm like.
So what I've done is drafted a few stuff on paper and I just cut it in shape.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And obviously with the curvature, I just like sanded it to make it look sharp and to make it look like a blade. But yeah, I wanted to change the mount. The mount on this one, that's actually from somewhere. And I've just incorporated some.
We don't know where it came from anymore.
Armor parts on it, yeah. I just incorporated some armor and that one there, scratch build sort of panels on the side.
Jeez.
So.
All right. Wow.
So.
Last but not least, your work in progress.
Yeah. So what's spinning here is that's the one. Is this one?
It's the RG, right?
No, that's MG.
Is the MG new?
Yeah, that's MG new. So if you notice, like on the left side, the lower torso is short. That's like the full extent of the torso. Even if it's extended, that's just how long it is. So the first thing I've done is extended it, and that's what it looks like. Because extended it, there's that bare part in the where the cockpit is. Just put some heat sinks on that one, and detailed sort of like similar approach to the upper chest. The main sort of center chest is extended, so it's a lot smaller than the stock. Detail the side. It's
wow.
This is
Speechless.
Purely flat plating work.
So can I just ask before we go on to the next one, because this is one of the most beautiful pictures I've ever seen. And I'm not exaggerating. Like I honestly have a love for this primed piece because I can see all of the work that you've done. So I have two questions.
Yeah.
One question is on the right side of the chest. Is that a claw plate that you sculpted out and glued on there?
No, that's actually paneline. That's a plastic piece, but I sort of like multi-layer paneline that one. So it's not glued together. Okay. It's a plastic which I sort of sanded the side to make it look like. It would have been a lot easier if I glued them together, to be perfectly honest. But I wanted to try something different.
Okay. And my second question is, what chisel set do you use? Do you use BMC?
I have BMC, yeah. I got VMC out. VMC and a bit of I've got some mad works, but yeah, for panel lining and for chiseling VMC that I use.
Damn.
And I'm guessing
Yeah.
I'm guessing you use 0.15 as your favorite.
1.5, 1,
Okay.
1.2, 1.3 is one that I mainly use. But yeah,
Wow.
I changed quite a bit on this one. Like the face is completely different on this one.
Yeah.
If
Looks
you
like a
know,
high
it's
new.
like it looks like if you notice the chin is a lot bigger and sizable than the I made it a bit more short.
Yeah.
Good. Because my problem with the new Verka is that
It's
it
very
has a
long.
horse face. It has
Yeah,
a horse
it's very long.
face.
It's, yeah, and if you notice like the vents on the side of the on the face, that's actually like I actually detailed that one with plaplane, because if you notice on the left side, you can't really see it's just a hole where you can't really notice whether that's a vent or not. So I wanted to show it that that's actually an extra vent. So that's why I extend really like 1 mil plastic and stuck.
Oh.
Damn.
The groove is like a V shape, so I had to measure that bit to be plating on it. So it's a subtle change, but work to get it that way. So you'll notice that it looks more like a vent rather than just having it like a hole in there
Right.
that shouldn't be there.
Is this
So yeah, quite a lot.
okay? I know I said 2 questions. I'm just gonna add one more. It's not really.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, can you in the future please modify a MG Sotheby?
Oh God.
Please.
Oh yeah, that's the next.
Oh God.
That's one of my
Good.
One of my pieces that I wanted to do. But
And then
I was-
sell it
I
to
was-
Jess.
I can't wait.
I was thinking as well, like mixing Sotheby and Nightingale together.
Oh.
Don't say those words, okay? Those are no words right now. Don't. Right now we're on.
It will happen. It will happen.
Well, there's a new high grade Nightingale that's coming out, so by mid spring. So yeah.
Yeah, the Mohawk on that one's changed as well. Is a lot longer.
Yeah.
The original part.
So
Holy
on
God.
to
Okay.
your next one here. Your
Yeah, this one.
oh jeez, I don't even know where to start.
This is evolved to something different. Like in the
Oh
next
yes,
one.
definitely.
Yeah, let's look at the last one. Yeah, that.
Okay,
that
so 133.
Okay, 133 it is.
one. Yeah. So that's where it's currently at the moment. With this one, this is my last ever commission piece. I'm never going to do a commission project again after this one, because I want to focus on more personal project. But yeah, with this one, the client said I'm a big fan of Charizard,
Oh.
but I'm also a big fan of Barbatos. Is there something you can do about that? And I just thought, well, yeah, let's do that. We can do something with that. So I wanted to change the Barbatos, MG Barbatos. I wanted to have like a hind leg. So with that comes a challenge, because obviously if you look at 132, that's the first version of it.
Yeah.
And the second, I then have to incorporate like a different part of the leg to make it look like that.
Oh my God.
And because I've done that, this is actually like really tall now. It's still movable, but it sits like a hind sort of version of biped mech.
Yeah.
And if you notice on the side, that's actually a Wing Zero Verniers. There's a Blitz knee. That knee was from a Blitz. I don't know what that part is from the lower part. And obviously there's an Apian with Destiny Wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to try and make it look more beastly, I guess.
He is
Oh,
beasting.
yeah,
least-
definitely.
You used at least 2 Barbatos for this MG Barbatos to get those side parts for the knees.
Yeah.
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 No, this is one. There's just one, because obviously it's one of each, isn't it, on this side? But I couldn't really
Oh,
put another
not a-
one on the side. Yeah, because
Oh,
there's
okay,
there's
yeah,
Oh,
there's
just the inside legs.
side bind.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
side bind is for.
Oh man.
The side bind
Oh,
is for
jeez.
the Wing Zero. But yeah, I haven't really showed much in this one. Obviously, the main armaments in this is going to change. Because if you notice, like the weapons is still from Destiny. So
Yeah,
that's going to change.
you still have the big sword and the and the.
So I'm
cannon.
still working this one.
Yeah.
Because I've got my next project to this is Gyaraduga.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, wow, yeah.
With a balloon pack system on it. Yeah,
Okay,
man.
well.
Good things to look forward to.
We can't wait, man.
We can't wait. Definitely, we can't wait.
I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now.
First off, again, I want to say thank you very much for waking up so early to be with us. We have gone past the time, I believe, right, Jess?
I didn't realize it's 4
Yes, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes, dude.
Wow.
I apologize for that.
No.
Your details, your stories are just so amazing. We didn't want want to cut it off because, like I said, the stories behind everything you do.
Thank you for having me. It's been an experience anyway. And I like talking to people, like-minded people.
Nice.
Yeah. Honestly, I also just want to thank you real quick for being on the show. You are definitely somebody that we really wanted to get in here, especially since Kevin came in season 2 to become a host, and he's a really big fan of you. Just the amount of respect that I've acquired just by listening to you and your thought process. So thank you very much for being here. I don't know, Derek, do you have anything to say to him?
Oh, dude, keep it up, and I can't wait to see. Now, these are all your commissioned outwork. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Well, this new is actually my personal.
Yeah,
that's why I'm taking time.
So I'm
Duel
really.
Gundam is a personal project.
I can't wait to see it's done and what comes in the store because you know me. I enjoy all the weapons and stuff and all the custom mods on that part. And hopefully, if I keep on following, I'll get my ideas and I'll make something in the future.
Yeah, same with anyone really. Anyone can just me and ask a question.
Okay.
It might take me a while to answer,
Super chill guy.
You know, people ask me what parts are and how do you do this and how do you do that. I answer to some extent, but yeah, if you have any questions that maybe I can answer, and if I don't have the answer, I'll get someone that can. Yeah,
for sure,
definitely me anytime. Obviously, yeah.
I
met some amazing people through the hobby, and like some of my close friends now, and then they don't even live locally.
Oh.
Texas, San Francisco, and now you guys are. I've met you guys, so it's this community is something that is a really good community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, you have friends with us here in GTS. If you're ever wanting to come over and get to know Calgary after all the COVID thing is done over with,
for sure, yeah.
Come over, man.
We got places for you to stay, so
yes.
Come on over.
Yeah, we all have places to stay, and yeah, dude, you have a friend with us here in GTS. Thank you for being on here. I'm gonna pass it on to Kevin.
Okay,
all right. Again, thank you everybody that joined our show. Again, did go a little longer. Again, thank you very much for putting up with us. Thank you for your taking us through your life of how you got to where you are with building. And I guarantee you, everybody that joined, everybody that's gonna listen down the road is gonna be amazed with what you do and how you do everything. Again, guys, remember when you watch it later on, every time he says scratch build, take a shot.
That's so adorable.
Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, join our Discord server. If you guys have any questions on there, everybody's great on there to definitely help you out. And also, one last time, we are part of the G Squad community now, and great things will come in the future. So keep an eye out for that. And everybody, have a great evening. TJ, good morning.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, take care.
Have a good night, guys.
All right.